Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to Certainly Trying. This is our second aired episode. I know I probably mentioned this in our first aired episode, but things are a little bit rough still with recording. I'm hoping to figure out a different method of recording, but right now I'm kind of stuck. I'm very limited. So in the trimming process and the editing process, there you'll notice the music kind of skips out at times and maybe overlaps a little bit as editing takes place, but stick with us. Hopefully I'll get something more solid figured out, but either way, I definitely hope you enjoy. And if this is the first time you're tuning in to Certainly Trying, don't forget to go back and watch episode 1 and also the recap that will fill in a lot of the blanks for you, as our characters are now level 5, and we barely just started recording as of one session ago. I also need to mention that I do not own any of the rights to the songs you're going to be hearing, obviously, so there's that. I don't plan on getting popular or profiting from this, but just to throw in there, I hold no ownership in that regard. So without further ado, this is episode 2, Banquets, Duels, and Dreams. Enjoy. So after enjoying your custom meals, you bed down for the night to long rest. The next morning, other than the banquet tonight, the day is yours.
Where did we end up staying again?
Fanciest place in town.
One of the fanciest places.
One of the fanciest places in town.
Yep. On the Vine is what it was called.
On the Vine, thank you. And, how are the beds again?
You didn't like the beds.
That's right.
You just used your little bedroll.
Yeah. For my big ol' fur bog. Okay.
This is the real reason why we don't normally stay at, like, fancy places, because Wander doesn't like the beds anyways.
Yeah.
There's other amenities. What's on the plan for today?
Well, I know I was hoping to hit up some herb shops in town, see if I can get some stuff for some healing potions. But that's really the only thing I wanted to do today. I don't know, is there anything you were looking forward to?
I wouldn't know where to begin. So, if I see something, I'll say something. But I am along for the ride for now.
Fair enough.
I'll try not to get quite so caught up today.
Well, if anything, today we've got more time to just waste. So, I won't stop you unless I need to. How's
Very
that
well.
sound?
Sounds like a plan. And,
Alright.
Did we need to go see Clementine again, or Gadry, or any of them?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure if we pop in too often, they're gonna get sick of us. And it's not
True.
like we've learned anything in the...
Clementine seemed easily scared off, so
Yeah, that's true.
best not to wear out our welcome there.
Yeah, I don't want to overwhelm the poor girl. Alright,
Indeed.
let's see how hard it is to find a herb shop around this place.
Alright. So you head back out. Just make an investigation check. We'll see.
Will do. Investigation, that is a 13.
Alright, not too bad of a DC either way. It takes you a little while, but eventually, after asking a few people who generally ignore you, you ask a guard, and he tells you to go to the trade ward, as where most of the shops in Brandywine are, besides the more novelty shops that are along the festive ward. But nevertheless, are you taking a cart?
Yeah, let's
How
just
long
walk.
would it take us to get there?
Probably about a half hour.
Well, it's not like we're doing anything else today.
But that's like at a meandering pace.
Okay.
I mean, if
Let's
you're
just walk.
Yeah, let's just walk.
Yeah.
Let's see the sights.
all right. So as you walk along, making your way, let's see. Okay. The first shop you come across that seems like it could be an herb shop. The trades ward is kind of an odd mixed bag. There's a lot of weird named shops. But on one of the stores, there's a sign with like a potion bottle, and it says pain in the glass. You would get
in the glass?
Yeah, pain in the glass.
Wander doesn't get it.
But yeah, that's about all you find as you're kind of wandering around.
All right, let's take a look.
Okay. All right, so you walk in, and there is aspects of herbalism. You can tell there's the smell of alchemy in the air. There's a few sections of this shop that has some herbs set out. It's kind of a messy shop, really dusty. There's a human woman behind the counter with just a mess of tangled hair, kind of tattered brown robes, and she's writing frantically in a book. She looks up at you. Oh, oi! Welcome to Pain in the Glass.
Hi there.
How can I help you?
I was hoping to find herbs that I can use to make healing potions.
Oh, to brew yourself?
Right, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we got, that goes for 25 gold a kit.
All right, cool beans. How many do you got?
Let me check my inventory here, and she pulls out a separate book. I had a few purchases. Looks like I've got 5 left.
All right, I'd like to take 3, please.
3, okay. She gives you the 3.
Hand over the 75 gold.
All right. Well, sure you've been needing an alchemy kit or some bottles, or...
How much are you selling bottles for?
Oh, you're just probably making standard healing potions, so that bottle of that size goes for, let's see, 8 copper each.
Yeah, let's just take 5 of those, just for the road.
All right, 40 copper.
All right, hand that over. Add that to the plethora of other bottles Zeki currently carries.
You do have quite a lot of collection of bottles going on.
At one point, she just became obsessed with grabbing any bottle she could. I don't know when this happened, but it has happened.
How about you big furry fella? You needing anything?
Looking around, are there any living plants?
Yeah, definitely.
I'll just talk to him as that conversation was going on first. I'm just kind of. Good to meet you.
Those are for sale, by the way.
You sell the plants?
Of course. If you're needing to spruce up your home a little bit.
I think my home has enough plants already.
Well, suit yourself.
Which one has which one has your favorite personality?
She kind of gives you a blank stare. If you're meaning which one's my favorite, it's the snapdragon there. And she points to a potted plant with, you know what snapdragons look like, right?
Logan does, yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure Wander does too, so.
Great.
He's looking at one, so I would hope so.
But yeah, they look good, healthy. It's a fairly tall plant, pretty big pot.
Very interesting. I'm not gonna do it. I even prepared it. I'm not gonna do it. Okay. I don't want to do it to Jordan. Because it's literally... So last time I did speak with plants, I misunderstood. It's all plants within 30 feet of me.
Holy shit.
You just got a choruses of hellos in the shop.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna do it. But Wander's gonna sit there with just like this grin on his face, like this would be wild.
It would be.
Jeez.
As there is a fair amount of plants in her shop.
Yeah.
Also a mixture.
She seems a little odd.
Yeah, there's different things for alchemy, holding bags and like bandolier things to hold bottles in, and different random articles of clothing, and just a lot of random stuff. But
Interesting.
did you need an alchemy kit? I've got portable ones.
How much for a portable alchemy kit?
It's 50 gold. It won't, I don't know what your level of alchemy is, but it'll do the simple stuff.
I'll pass for this time, but I do appreciate it.
No problem.
Alright. Wander, was there anything you wanted, or are you good to go?
I believe I'm good.
Alright, well, have a lovely rest of your day.
You too. She just immediately goes back to frantically writing whatever she's doing.
I apologize. I was a little distracted by plants. What did you get in there?
Oh, I got stuff to make healing potions and more bottles.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Can't have enough bottles.
Never. Alright. Well, I guess we could just wander around and see what else after we exit the shop.
Okay.
I guess we could just wander around and see what else there is in the city.
Are you looking for anything in particular as far as shoppings, or just something that grabs you?
Zeki is content for the day. Now she's just like, well, we've got so much time to waste.
Is there anywhere that I see that would potentially have an interest in what I carved recently?
Make an investigation.
I don't know that Wander would know what it would be either, just some sort of, I don't know, some sort of antiques or novelty.
So more along the antique side. Yeah, make an investigation check.
Hey, now, I'm pretty proud of that. I rolled a 19, and my investigation is not terrible. I'm not proficient in it, but +3. That's a 22.
Dang, boy.
Oh, yeah, that's good. So, first person you talk to, he directs you to the inner east ward. Those where the more high-end tier shops are, the jewelry shops, the fancy clothing, and antiques.
Very well. I will ink him.
Oh, no problem.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if this is worth anything, but I thought this would be a good place to show it off if... I don't know. But anyways...
Are you still talking to him?
No,
okay.
Talking to Zeki as we go, sorry. It's Ave. Now I'm talking to my son. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, I thought it would be... I've seen things like this being sold before.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There is not an audience, a market for literally anything, honestly, just with the right people.
Well, let's see if we can find them.
All right. Heading back to the inner ward then. I will say,
let's try one of these. Oh, go ahead.
If you are keeping an eye out for anything, There's a store called Shitty's Shit. That...
Would we have passed by it?
Yes.
That would catch Wander's attention.
I think that would catch Zeki's too. It's just like, oh, that's bold. You want to go check it out?
I think we have to.
Honestly, you might be right.
All right.
All right, let's go.
So, the outside of the store is unkept. The windows are dirty. You could just see a cluster of crap in the window as you walk in. And as you do walk in, it just gets worse. There's just shit everywhere. No
As
rhyme.
long as it's not literal.
Yeah. No rhyme, no reason, no organization. It's just shelves of crap. And I will say there is a bit of shit, literally, as in the rafters, you count about roughly a dozen or more birds hopping around in the rafters, chirping, looking down at you as you enter in. And there are bits of bird shit on the floor, but mostly you notice there is a designated spot in the corner of the store where they seem to do most of their shitting.
Those are some trained ass birds right there.
Well, in their defense, even animals know to go in the corner.
Not all of them. I've seen it. That is impressive, honestly.
It doesn't appear to like there's anybody on the inside at first glance.
I will look up at the birds and, afternoon. Would any of you know where Shitty is?
One of the birds flies back towards the back end of the store, where would be the main selling counter is.
I think he wants us to follow.
You know what? I'll follow you on this one.
Very well. Watch your step.
Yeah.
As you approach, the bird flies down and actually stands on one of those little ringer bells, gives it a ding, then flies back up.
Smart ass crow.
Just give me a second.
A couple minutes goes by, and this little gnome comes out of the back room. You could basically, the character that fixed Woody in Toy Story, that is basically who you're seeing.
Perfect.
Yes.
No
Who, by the
teeth
way,
to speak of, huh?
is the same. That is the same gentleman who plays chess against himself.
Yes, it is.
That's
To
true.
fix our short.
Yeah. So imagine a mini version of him as he runs out.
Shit. Welcome to Shitty Shit. What can I help you with?
Would you be Shitty?
I am Shitty, yep.
Well met. I am Wander. And this is my companion Zeki.
Wander and Zeki?
Hi there.
He kind of eyes you both over.
I don't think I like either of you. You just get out. Just get on out of here right now. We don't like your types.
There's
Fair
a
enough.
pause
All
for
right.
a moment, and then he just starts laughing.
I'm just fucking with you. You're a good sport. That's fine.
It wouldn't
Wander's
have been
gonna
the first
lean
time I
down.
heard it, so like,
Oh,
I get
yeah.
it.
Wander's gonna lean down, kind of like squinting, not mad, just like really inspecting this guy.
Well, you're an ugly fucker, ain't you? I'm just kidding. You're a good sport. All right. What can I do
Can't
for
get a
you?
read on him.
I mean, you can insight check. I don't know what you're looking for.
I'm gonna make the decision that Wander's like, can't nothing on this guy. I enjoy the confusion.
Shit.
Would you... What Is there something you specialize in?
Yeah, I kind of got a shitload of shit. I do some tradings. I actually have one or two magic items that's come my way. That's why a lot of people come here. Shit. Other than that, just look around.
Alrighty.
Very well. I'll be back to see the magic items, but yes, we'll look around first.
Well, don't take too long. You know, I've got other people to serve. Gee, you just can't be walking around amongst my shit all aimlessly like. If you need something specific, let me know. I'm just kidding. You can stay as long as you'd like.
What? Yeah, Wander's just gonna start looking around for anything that is not covered in feces that looks interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Make an investigation check. Zeki, are you...
Actually, I don't think Wander's that bothered by it. It seems to all be animal poop.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's just bird poop.
Yeah, Wander's fine with it.
Yeah, Zeki's just looking around for something that, like, looks specifically interesting. Mm-hmm. Or
what kind
really
of check
random.
Did you say?
Investigation.
Okay. 15.
Investigation.
As you're kind of walking through, Wander, you do see a bag that looks almost like a bag of holding, but it's tattered, a little bit just tattered looking. And as you're eyeing it over, you hear a, "Oh, oi, come closer."
I stand up erect and did anyone else, did Zeki seem to register that at all?
With her passive, no. Unless she's standing right next to you.
She's off looking around.
Okay, so I didn't feel like this was in my head. This was with my ears.
Yeah, definitely your ears. Oi, mate, come closer.
To the bag. Are you the bag?
Yeah, come closer, mate. Just a little bit.
How far away am I right now?
I mean, you're only 5 feet, if...
Okay. Step closer.
Oi, lean in. Lean into me, mate.
I'm gonna lean in.
Oi. Fuck you, mate. Fuck you.
I look around for Shitty, I'm looking for him right now. Is he anywhere near me?
He's just at the counter.
You know Shitty.
Fuck Shitty and fuck you, mate.
How did you learn how to talk?
Doesn't reply.
With my staff, I kind of poke the bag a little bit.
Nothing.
Zeki, I think I found something for you.
She'll just put her looking on hold and wander on over. Like, what'd you find?
Oi. Oi, you. Lean in.
Zeki looks really confused as she just leans a little closer.
Oi, fuck you, mate.
Fair enough, alright. This place is weird, Wander.
Why is everyone so rude here?
City folk just be like that sometimes.
I will... Not knowing the... I'm just gonna go for it. Logan would have trouble. Anyways, I'm gonna cast Detect Magic.
Okay. You cast Detect Magic. The bag pops. And then there are several things behind the counter that also pops.
Nothing else out in the store, though?
Nope.
Oh, God.
There's about 5 objects behind the counter that pop. And then the bag.
Does the bag give off a school of magic?
Whatever the bag of holding. I don't know off the top of my head.
What is that? For summoning. What is that called?
Conjuration?
Conjuration, yeah.
Think.
But You can tell from the enchantment, the magic that it's giving off, that it seems broken.
Okay.
Incomplete, maybe. Just off. It's odd.
Is there something mundane that's small, like close to it?
That's magical?
Yeah.
No?
No. Mundane. Is there just like a trinket on a shelf nearby?
Yeah, there's like almost what looks to be a Rubik's Cube.
Okay.
Sitting
I'm gonna
next to it.
grab that and put it in the bag.
Okay, so you put it in.
Does it react like our bag of holding does? Like Zeki's bag of holding does? Like, does it disappear, kind of?
Yeah, it would appear.
I'm gonna reach in and pull it back out.
You reach in and think about what you put in, and it summons to your hand, and you pull it out.
Weird. I'm gonna walk. I'm done. I can't.
Zeki did roll.
Oh my god.
Zeki did roll an investigation of 18, just looking for other random shit.
Okay. Nothing that particularly catches your eye. There's just so much junk in here. You would probably have to look for something specific, and then your investigation would determine whether you found it or not.
Fair enough.
But yeah, it's like a pawn shop, but just so much worse and more packed.
We're gonna have to keep this place in mind whenever we actually need something.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you finding anything that's getting you?
Yes, the bag that talks.
Oh, that fucking bag.
Yes. You seem to have similar sentiments.
Well, I don't know what it
Compels me,
still is,
though.
but it can only communicate in insults. Doesn't say much else.
Otherwise, is it a standard bag of holding? Seem to work.
There's a catch. There's a chance that in a day's time it will randomly throw up whatever items you put in it.
Fascinating. We'll put a pin in that one for now.
Yeah, most people lose their interest when they figure that one out, but
I'm possibly more interested.
well, it's certainly entertaining, and it'll definitely fill your ear with every insult you can imagine, if you spend enough time with it.
Very well. How much would you want for it?
Well, I mean, it is a bag of holding after all, but it is,
Kinda broken.
yeah,
That no one wants.
And rude.
I mean, I'd let it go for 150.
Good to know.
I'll keep that in mind.
Would you mind sharing with us the other enchanted items you have?
Ah, you like the enchanted item, okay.
He gets a big gummy smile on his face. He doesn't have a tooth in his head. Reaches behind the counter and pulls up a little box, opening up to reveal a ring.
Ooh.
This is a ring of fire detection. When you put it in the fire, it glows red.
That is fascinating.
I have...
And then you would know that there's fire.
What?
And then you would know it has fire.
Right. You put the ring in the fire glows red, and that's how you know there's a fire.
Could come in. I look at Zach like 100% deadpan. If I need to roll for this, I can too. But I'm just like, that could come in handy.
You never know.
I mean, if you're trying to be deceptive, then make it
Yeah,
deceptive.
Wander's full. Like Wander's trying to indulge this man who is clearly out of his mind.
Yeah.
It's a 3.
Yep.
Those ears, man. They're just flicking all over the place.
I have another ring you might like. He pulls out another box and opens up it. And this one looks like it's made of like a dark marble with white veins going through it. This is a ring of finger smoke. He puts it on his pointer finger and gives it a flick. And there's a puff of smoke and crackling. That's all you gotta do is just flick your finger. Another puff of smoke with crackles.
That could be a neat party trick.
Would you mind if I tried it?
Oh, of course. Takes it off. It only has, let's see, 5 more charges in it today, but yeah.
I'll just do it once. And what were the effects that came out of it again? Smoke and what?
Just a puff of smoke and like sparks. It's almost like a cannon shot, but without the noise, basically.
Okay. I would like to do that and use the minor effects from my druid craft to like amplify it when I do it.
Okay. Easy enough.
So when I flick it, I want it to be like twice as much.
Holy shit! That thing's speaking to you. You should buy it.
It is powerful.
It's only 20 gold.
You have so many good things. I don't know that we have enough for everything.
Well, hang on. I got more.
He reaches out and pulls out a wand.
Now this is a wand of smiles. If you got somebody who's being grumpy, you cast this wand at them, and it forces them to smile for the next minute. It's got 3 charges a day. Only 30 gold.
That could come in handy.
Yep, I could tell just by it. Shit! Looking at you that you're looking for something more aggressive, maybe.
And he pulls out just a leather sack and opens it up and pulls out what looks like just like a polished stone with a rune carved on it.
Now this is a throwing rune stone. Always hits whatever you're throwing at it. All you have to do is visualize your target, and it's a guaranteed hit from about 60 feet away. And it damages a little bit. Of course, depending on how hard you throw it. Yeah,
Guaranteed to hit.
both of you are really hard to read. One more item. This is my most expensive item, and I know you really like this one.
Pulls out another leather sack.
This is a bag of beans.
Give me just a second.
So, what you do is you plant the bean. You can plant it in dirt or sand. You give it a little bit of water. Only 1 minute later, strange and random effects happen. This thing can do anything from erupt a geyser of water. It can create a nest with eggs in it. It can even create a tiny little tree ant. Sometimes a fruit tree will grow. All manner of random things.
How much?
Well, you see, this bag here is very rare. This is a rare magic item. But no one in this area of Brandywine can afford something like this, and everyone who can just isn't interested in it. Something like this would normally go for about 1,000 gold. But I can let it go to you for only 300.
We don't have that kind of spending money. Not all at once.
Unfortunately, I cannot pay you for that.
I get you. Just, what if I told you that there's a chance that one of these seeds can grow a beanstalk that reaches up into the clouds to a giant's castle in the sky.
I would believe you.
Hell. Alright, well, if you can't afford it, you can't afford it. I also do trading, just so you know, but I gotta tell you, that's all I got.
Got anything for trading? Let's see. Wander, I'm on the wrong notebook. 1 second.
I
Did you want the ring? Because the ring was pretty fun, pretty cool.
He looks down at you and just, I really need that bag of beans.
It's like he's like looking through her stuff for like trading items, and she just does a slow look up towards you and just. Why did I have a feeling you were gonna say you needed the beans?
I don't expect you to part with that much gold.
It's a lot of gold.
I will find a way to buy it, though. Trade for it. Something. Very well.
Do you like gems, Shitty?
I'll take any kind of shit you got.
Zeki's just gonna pull out a baseball-sized raw ruby. It's like, what do you think of this?
Oh. What did I put down the value for that?
I've got a question mark down, so you didn't give me any.
A baseball-sized ruby.
A raw ruby, yes.
Oh, so it's uncut. Let me
It
check.
is uncut.
I know I have it in my notes somewhere. Hang on.
Where'd that come from?
It came from the cave.
Oh, yeah.
I just grabbed one.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you never know when this will come in handy.
Okay, I do have the value.
Zeki the Hoarder.
I'll tell you what. I'll trade you that gemstone straight across for this bag of beans.
Perfect.
Alright, that's a deal.
I would also like that Wanda Smiles, though.
Oh, cool, that's 30 gold.
Alright, that I can pay.
All right. So you
All
get
right.
the bag
the
of
wand of
beans and the
smiles.
wand of smiles.
How many
Zeki
beans
will
are in
just
the bag?
hand it over to Wander. You can carry that.
I immediately open it up and look how many beans are inside.
I have not yet rolled for them. Give me a moment.
I'm so happy right now.
I was literally looking. I was like, I know Zeki's got a lot of shit in her inventory. What is like valuable in here?
Wander just looks at Zeki. I will pay you back for this.
Well, you got kind of unlucky, but normally a bag of beans is like 5 times the price, so I don't feel as bad. But there are 4 beans in them.
Okay. That's hopefully good enough.
We'll see what happens.
I don't know that list. I've never taken the time, but I know what a bag of beans is. I'm as excited as I would be for like damn near like a deck of many things. Like,
oh god, the deck of many things is so bad. Though.
Yeah, dude. There's a
Because this
couple
is like-
It's so
items
good,
that-
but it's so bad.
that's the thing. As far as I know, as far as Logan knows, the bag of beans, I don't think there's anything like world-shattering or like life-ending dangerous in it. It's just cool, random stuff.
Hopefully not, but knowing our luck, if there is, we're gonna have it.
Who knows? I know. Seriously. You conjure a Tarask.
And then we run.
4 beans. Oh my god, this is
Alright.
going to be the hardest 4 decisions of Wander's life.
Hey, can I interest you in any of these rune stones?
Do they come back to you, or do they just?
No,
Are
it's
they
a
just
one
like a
and done. But
One
it's
and done.
it's guaranteed.
How much were they?
They're 5 gold apiece.
Do you want some Wander? I don't really think I'd use any.
I would like one.
All right,
Okay.
let's do it.
All right.
5 gold.
I was about to tell you what it does, but you haven't identified it yet, so we'll just leave that as it be.
Okay. Wander just takes his word for it. It's just, it's gonna hit something that I throw it at. I'll identify it later because there's also something else. In fact, as we get outside, I would like to. Oh, I don't actually have identify. Never mind.
Hey, is that all I can do?
I think we're good for now. Right, Wander?
All right. Well, get the hell out of here,
He's
and
just
I don't
staring at
ever
the
want
back
to
of me.
see either of you two. Nah, I'm just kidding. Come back anytime.
Very well.
We will definitely keep you in mind, sir.
Oh, look out for my brother's shop, too. He specializes more. We used to be business partners, but we got so much shit that we had to split. But he specializes more in the weapons and clothing type stuff. He's got a few magic items in there. His shop is called Asshole Shit. Just down the street.
I'm so curious. What was your mother's name?
Bitch.
I had a feeling. Thank you so much for this information.
Yep.
Come from
We'll
a
have
long
to
line
stop
of
by
shits.
his.
Come from
shop
long
later.
lines of bitches, assholes, shitties, dickheads, and bastards. All right, well, you all have a good day.
All right, you too.
As we walk out, I will purposely walk by the bag of holding again.
Here up. Oi, fuck you, mate.
Have a good day.
I hope your asshole explodes.
Oh, that's a good one.
You know, if that bag of holding falls into the hands of the wrong bard, everyone's done for.
Indeed. This place is fascinating. Well,
Really.
I guess we'll continue making our way to the Inner East Ward and keep an eye out for asshole shit.
Okay. Let me quick check something. So depending on which direction you guys choose to travel, you may or may not pass by it.
Where are we currently?
So you're in the trade ward. The quickest way to the Inner East would be going east, like southeast, and looping out.
Mm-hmm.
So if you did go that way, then no, you wouldn't see it.
We probably wouldn't know that though.
Yeah.
No,
Probably just know
but
go the faster way.
to get to the trade ward originally, where did we come from?
Let's see. Let me take a...
Would we be backtracking a way we've already come?
So you would have head straight down, straight south, and then
From the
gone
castle ward?
west. Yeah.
Oh, so you're asking if we would have passed it already and known where it was?
No,
Right.
I'm just saying if the way we Wander wouldn't want to backtrack right now. He would try and
Gotcha.
but if this would be a new place that we haven't seen, then yeah, he'll go the way that most direct route if we haven't seen that yet.
Yeah. So you wouldn't have seen it then, the most direct route.
Okay.
Alrighty.
But yeah. So you go to the Inner East Ward. The gentleman you talked to gave you the name of the store, which I cannot find because my notes are a mess.
Mm-hmm. Is this one called Titty's Tit?
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank on a name.
Okay.
We'll call it Curious Curiosities, I guess. I don't know.
I like it.
I have my shop names list, but I don't know where it went. Okay. Much obviously nicer part of town, nicer dressed people walking around, very nice shop. As you walk in, it's set up a lot like a jewelry store. Just kind of waist-high, well, not to you, Wander, but waist-high glass cases of a spread of different jewelries and antique swords and pipes and carvings and just a mix of things like that. There's a gentleman standing behind there's like a main circular case of glass where a gentleman is standing, nicely dressed. He's a high elf, and he looks up and... Welcome to Curious Curiosities. I am Brimbo. How may I assist you?
I was hoping... I'm looking for someone who can estimate the value of a ceremonial piece.
I can do that. I'm quite familiar with history and arts and the like.
Very well. And as I'm going through my bag, Wander will. This is a ceremonial dagger carved by a member of the Furbolg tribes in the Lost Woods, who was born over 200 years ago.
I guess that's not a lie.
Nope.
Okay. It is a very fine piece, to be sure, but I will need a specific name. Collectors usually like to have art pieces like this especially if it comes from a tribe, if they know who created it. Some collectors pull items from specific names.
Very well. I do believe this is a one-off. I don't believe this person made any other pieces. He would be known as the Wanderer.
The Wander, a one-off piece. Well, that does significantly depreciate its value. I must say that it is quite beautiful, but despite its beauty,
Perhaps there are more. If I come across more, I would let you know.
Yes, the Wander does not sound familiar to me, but there are potential collectors who know that name. But for me to purchase it from you, I probably couldn't give you a very high value, just because I'm not entirely sure if it's going to resell. Usually blank art pieces that have no name behind it are very much depreciated in value.
Be sure.
Have you given it to him?
Oh yeah, I
Okay.
handed it to him to inspect.
So he takes out kind of like a monocle spyglass and starts looking over the fine details.
The materials appear to be that of a giant spider.
Yes, and the intricacies of the carving, this must have been very, very difficult to achieve. This is a most impressive piece. I can give you an estimate, if you would like.
By all means.
I could probably give, judging by the craftsmanship. Hang on a moment, and he pulls out a large tome and starts kind of what seems to be cross-referencing items. At best, I could probably offer you 400 gold.
Seems reasonable, considering there's no known lineage or lines, but say it came from someone who was known, or say there were more items carved by this individual, what would that?
Well, in that case, if no specific collector came looking, we do hold auctions. If the name was well known, a piece like this, I mean, this is a masterwork item. This could probably range anywhere from 5,000 to 8,000 gold.
I'll tell you what, I will take the 400 for it, and I'll start searching for more work done by this artist.
That very well. So let me take notes on the item, and he pulls out a separate piece of parchment and starts writing Spider Fang art piece done by the Wanderer. You said it was from the tribe of the Lost Woods.
Correct.
Do you happen to know the tribe name?
Don't know the tribe name.
Whatever you want it to be.
Sorry, I'm just pulling that up. I might have named the tribe, but I don't remember. Sorry, 1 second. There it is. In common, it would just refer to themselves as protectors of the Lost Wood.
Protectors of the Lost Wood tribe. All right, very well. I will consult some archives and see if I can find any information on this tribe as to expand the portfolio of this object, and yes,
Very
perhaps a buyer will be interested.
Well, very well. Do I leave it here with you for now, or?
If you're fine with doing that, I can give you the gold right now, and yes. But, of course, once you sell it to me, it is mine.
Yes, that seems fine.
Very well.
And if we find more in the future, I will be sure to do business with you again.
I'm glad to hear. I love pieces like this. Let me
Yes.
take a quick trip back to the treasury, and I will be back with your gold.
Very well.
A couple minutes goes by, and he comes back out.
I will say, the moment he leaves the room, Zeki kind of just like grabs Wander's arm, like, holy shit,
I'm a
400 gold.
yes, but did you hear what it could be worth?
Yeah, good thing I had the hood down.
I more
That
meant
is
that
amazing, Wander.
I didn't think he would buy in. I kind of feel bad now.
Well, you didn't lie. That's the good part. It was, in fact. He
Yes.
told all the truths.
Yes. And I guess I will attempt to carve more things in the future.
Exactly. You're doing great, Wander. We're doing fantastic.
Told you I'd get you your money back.
To be fair, this is our money. Like, we are putting it together. It is a party fund.
That's fine. But that ruby was magnificent.
It really was, but I don't know what else I would have done with it, honestly.
Oh,
I kind of just grabbed things. I still have
I
an
think-
eye patch in here that's worth like 50 gold that I haven't sold to anyone. Oh, I don't know if this would be the place for it.
Well-
We'll leave that on the back burner.
An eye patch?
Yeah, I got like a bejeweled eye patch from one of the bugbears we fought over at Kindertown.
That's right.
It's
Interesting.
kind of just been in my pocket ever since.
Very well.
So he,
Yeah, this doesn't quite seem like the right place.
as
Maybe.
you two are talking, you see him approach. I'm sorry, I didn't ask you how you wanted the currency. I have a satchel here of 400 gold pieces. I also have a satchel of 40 platinum, if you prefer.
I just looked down at Zeki. Whatever. Is there one that you prefer?
Let's go with the platinum this time around, please.
All right.
Platinum?
Yeah.
He sets it almost looks like a leather pouch, just with a simple button flap on it, and sets it on the desk. I do apologize, I didn't get either of your names.
This is
Well, my name's Zeki. Hello.
Zeki?
Zeki. My name is Wander.
Wander? Is that a common name for your tribe, or?
They tend to just sort of go with names that link to like their jobs.
Ah, I
So-
see.
Yeah.
Very well. Well, it was nice to meet you, Zeki and Wander, and, yes, feel free to look around. We have some fine art pieces, some oil paintings, various antique weaponry, things of the
Oh.
like, jewelry.
Do you have any eye patches?
I do not know.
I just look at Zeki, kind of wide-eyed.
Oh, I don't know if you'd be interested, but Zeki is going to pull out the bejeweled eye patch. But I did come across this in my travels. I don't know its whereabouts or who it was made by, but I figured it looked rather pretty.
Well, looks like somebody stuck some jewels on an eye patch. I can give you the value of the jewels, but it wouldn't be a collector's item by any means.
Oh, that's fair enough. I had a feeling this might not be the place, but there's never any harm in like double checking,
Sure.
Well, I think we're done here today, right, Wander?
What kind of weapons do you have?
We have a few, enchanted items of legend. These weapons have since been retired and are more for the sake of setting up, a display for them, for people who like weapons of legend. They are highly expensive. Weapons, you can use them. They are functional, but it would be rather sad if they were used. Just from, a collector's standpoint.
Yes. Understood. Some things are to be appreciated.
As they are, indeed.
Very well. Wander's breathing kind of picks up for a second, and then I am the Wanderer.
You are the Wanderer.
Yes.
The one who carved this.
Yes.
I see. May
I apologize for my deceit. I was a little embarrassed. I've never tried selling what I carve.
Oh, you should never be embarrassed over your work, Wander. This is a Do you have any other pieces?
Nothing that I put that much care into. I never realized I've only ever done it for my own pleasure or mental clarity. But recently I've found more inspiration in it.
Well, I think you should definitely keep at it. You could build a name for yourself and become quite wealthy if enough people like your work.
Well, I'm not interested so much in accumulating wealth, but the lifestyle that Zeki and I have found ourselves in can be quite expensive at times. So,
It's good to
I
have
assure
some
you,
coin in the pocket.
indeed, if I created such a piece again, I would be sure to see you.
Please do. If we could build a small collection here, that would help establish your name and thus increase the value of your work.
Would you be... I won't always be near. Would you be offended if I reached out to you magically?
Oh, through the means of sending? Of course not.
Very well. Well, if I come across such time and inspiration again, I will be sure to message you and see if I can't arrange transportation of the item back to you.
Perfect. Well, it is a pleasure, and I look forward to our continued partnership. And he
What
holds
was
out-
your name?
I forgot.
Brimbo.
Ah.
Brimbo. That's what happens when you improv and don't write anything down.
Welcome
I'm here for you,
to
dude.
my life.
And that's why I'm the note taker, baby.
And he's a high elf. I do remember
Yep.
that.
Just a real quick in-character response. It took a second for it to process in my mind, but that was
forgot.
hilarious.
I was so astounded by your bullshittery. Rimbo. High elf. Okay. Send good carvings here. Okay. Well, Brimbo, it was a pleasure to meet you, and hopefully you'll be hearing from us in the near future.
I definitely look forward to that. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Oh, is there anywhere that you would suggest going to for non-ceremonial armament or weaponry?
There's a mixture of smiths that pockmark throughout the trade ward.
Asshole shit, would that be?
He kind of sighs. Yes, asshole shit would be one of them. There is a fine smith here in the inner east ward, but he crafts weapon more for show than for anything else. He often services the lords, and I know he's made a few rapiers for Lord Breen. Other than that, as I said, a few smiths in the trade ward.
Very well. Is there anything else you need, Zeki?
No, I'm good here.
Very well. Have a good day.
You as well.
And I will give him my best approximation at an elvish goodbye.
Your best approximation? I mean, you speak
I
Elvish, right?
I will say it in elvish, but I don't know if any, like, gestures, bowing, I don't know
No.
if anything like that goes along with it. Okay. Then I'll just say, I will bid him farewell in elvish.
And he replies, Unen hjarten honor. So you take your leave.
Yeah.
What would you like to do now?
I wouldn't mind finding one of these smiths or armors.
Is there a weapon you're looking for?
Not a weapon, more so as protection. I feel like sometimes I don't know what I'm looking for exactly. But I actually I've never worn more than leather, but I am actually trained in the use of heavier armor, not metals, but heavier and leather. And there are times when it would be convenient.
Oh, yeah, for sure. We can go check out and see if they've got what you're looking for.
Okay.
So back to the trade ward.
Back we go.
Okay.
Oh,
Listen,
I
when
would
you-
have
when you've
actually
got
asked
time-
him. Sorry, I would have asked him if he knew, like, where asshole shit was.
He would have directed you. Actually, I'm gonna make a check for him because someone in
See if
his
he's actually
status
paid
doesn't
attention.
really. Yeah, he knows.
Okay.
He directs you to about mid ward on the east side of the ward. You would guess it's about a 5 or 6 minute walk past shitty shit.
Okay. We'll head
Alright.
there.
So you head there. Very same setup, but instead of the randomness, it's more a randomness of just clothes and armor pieces and weapons from rust all the way to clean, and shields and just crossbows and bows and just a mess of all that stuff.
I need like a 2-minute break if that's okay.
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 Be right back.
Again, as you walk in, there is about a dozen or so birds fluttering about. You see who you presume is asshole. God damn it.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting behind the desk reading a book. He looks up at you as you enter. And he is an exact twin.
Okay.
Oh, welcome to asshole shit. I'm asshole. How can I help you?
Your brother sent me here.
Oh, yes, shitty.
Indeed.
He's an odd one, but he keeps things lively.
Indeed. Yeah. It's quite the collection. Yes, he sent us here because I'm looking for... Potentially, I'm in the market for a nicer piece of armor. No, heavier piece of armor.
Are you talking full plate mail?
Nothing that heavy. No. Something...
Well, I've got a few sets of padded. I've got a few sets of leather. I've got one set of studded leather. I've got hide. Might have a chain shirt laying around here somewhere. But that's about it.
All right, I'm back.
Didn't miss much.
Go.
Basically, you met Shitty's twin, but less insane a little bit.
Oh, neat.
Yeah,
Would you...
might have a set of chain mail too.
That'd be far too heavy. Would you happen to have scale mail?
Scale mail. Well, let me check the back. Nicer pieces of armor I keep in my storage. Hang on.
Comes back a few minutes later.
Well, I do have some scale mail here, but might have to be modified to fit you. You're a pretty big fella.
Interesting. What kind of shape does it seem to be in?
It's not unused, I'll say that much.
Sure. But it's not falling apart
No, it's a solid piece, but it does have some heavier markings in it, and it's not very polished. But yeah.
Would you mind if I tried to... I'm just gonna cast mending to see if it helps get any of the scuffs and scrapes out of it.
Yeah, I guess it would. Right? Mending handles... Does it handle metal? Let me check. Yeah, it would.
Well, that cleaned up a bit.
Hmm.
That's pretty handy.
Indeed. How much would you want for this?
Well, since you cleaned it for me, that would increase the value. So, 50 gold.
What if I cleaned something else for you to reduce the price of this?
Make a persuasion check.
Come on. One of the few times that I don't want a crappy... 5.
Well, if you want to kind of walk around and clean some stuff, that's fine. But I'm in a business after all. I could knock off 2 gold pieces.
Oh, I know. And I will reach in. I guess it'd be in the bag of holding, because I'm not currently wearing my armor. Would you accept this as trade?
Sorry, what'd you pull out? I was totally spacing off.
Just leather armor, but it's in relatively good shape, because that's always been mended.
40 gold. But you gotta walk around and clean off a few things.
Does this seem like a good deal?
Are you asking me or God?
Of course it's a good deal.
I was asking Zeki. I was asking the one person in our party who understands money.
You can always trust an asshole like me to make good deals.
It is true. His brother did. Yes, I accept.
All right, fair trade. Now walk over
I'll
to a
just set
couple
the.
of those.
I don't even grab the scale mail. I just set the leather down and just walk off, like start, and I just pick up the first thing that looks bad shape.
Yeah, so there's some padded leather that has some, or I don't know if it's padded quote-unquote leather, but some padded armor that has a few deep cuts and tears, and so you've.
And I'm looking for the stuff that has like the. I'm looking for the stuff that's going to be the most noticeable. You know, like if it's chain mail and it has broken links, or if it's scale mail and it has like a rip, anything like that, especially.
So you don't see any chain. Just remembering that he keeps his more valuable stuff in the back.
True.
But you do come across a leather chest piece that has a completely broken strap. So you can mend that if you'd like.
All right, so you said that was 40 gold for the armor?
Yeah, 40 gold.
All right, Zeki will pull out 4 platinum and hand those over.
Been a while since I seen platinum.
He
We
kind
got
of
that
leans
from
in.
selling a dagger.
That is true.
I'd be careful about throwing around platinum, just as one friendly advice to another if you're gonna hang around this part of Brandywine.
I appreciate the advice.
I mean,
Though I have a feeling pulling out 40 gold pieces might also be a bit.
well, there's a status in platinum, but throwing around a lot of gold in general, it's fine. Shopkeepers will of course accept it, but maybe make sure the store's empty before you make those higher purchases.
Is the store empty besides the 3 of us?
It is.
I will keep that in mind. Thank you very much. I do appreciate the advice.
You bet. All right. Well, is there anything else I can
cast
get
it
for you?
I can cast it every 6 seconds, so I'll give it I'll go around for a good 10 minutes. It's
Okay.
60 castings of mending.
There's...
No, that's 100. That's 100 castings of mending.
Jesus.
Is that how math works? I don't know.
So you tidy up his shop a lot. It's still unorganized, but there are tears in cloaks that you fix, just straps and scuffs and tons of things. I know you're covered, Zeki. Is there any... Can he see at all what you have just on your person as far as...
The only things he'd be able to see, I think, would be the 2 staves strapped to my back and the backpack I carry.
Okay.
Everything else is relatively hidden on the various pockets in her various layers.
And he rolled a very poor perception, so... Okay.
To which she also, seems to pull money out of nowhere since the money is in, one of the, closest layers to her body.
Yep. Anything else I can do for you?
As long as this was satisfactory to you.
Hell, you did plenty of work. Appreciate all that.
I hope it increases your business.
No doubt.
I will be sure to sing the praises of shits everywhere
Chips.
I go.
Oh, yes, we could bring the traffic in for sure.
I forgot.
Indeed.
She also does have a crossbow strapped to her back.
Okay.
I constantly forget about the
How
crossbow.
about the crossbow?
He would see a small bird flute on my hip. Bird pipes, I mean.
Yeah. There was something kind of specific, but...
Hmm?
He would see the bag of beans that Wander is, like, clutching in his hand.
You're just holding them.
We got you a backpack at one point.
Yeah, but he's holding that bag of beans. Can't trust a backpack. Okay. Very well. Do you have any other siblings that run weird shops?
Nope, just me and my brother.
Very well.
Oh,
Good day to you.
Yeah, you as well.
I will go collect my new scale mail. Ooh,
Oof.
that was a +2 to AC, bro.
Oh, hell yeah. What's your AC at now?
When I don my shield, an 18.
So
God, my sorcerer could never.
Wait. Oh, no. Sorry. Hold on.
Oh.
Scale mail is 14 plus dex up to 2. And my dex is 1, so 15. So my AC is 15 or 17 with my shield.
It's pretty good.
Nice.
Disadvantage on stealth checks, though. Don't forget.
Disadvantage on stealth checks. Indeed.
That's why you have to have pass without a trace on everything.
Indeed.
Mhm.
Okay.
With a whopping +1 to my stealth, it was.
Yeah, the AC is worth it.
I
Mhm.
think so.
By far.
And if we need to really be stealthy, I can take the scale mail off and just cast bark skin. If I
Yeah.
need to be somewhere without it. But I'm pretty happy with some scale mail. Plus it's like the heaviest armor that druids can wear that isn't metal without like getting into like something super DM custom or really high end, like you can actually find true dragon scale armor. But that's
Ooh.
like rare status.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just changing out my equipment. So carry on. We'll be done in just a second.
Well, whatever you guys want to do. If you're all set, we can just move on. Banquet or whatever.
Yeah, I do believe I am content. There's nothing else I can think of, at least.
I'm fine with moving on.
So you pass the day wandering around, familiarizing yourself with the wards a little bit. Here.
Oh, do I actually need to get this modified to fit me?
Yes, you do.
Okay, then sorry. I would have found one of the smithies.
Okay. You did pass a smith shop on your way. It's called Hardened Steel. I was gonna do music, but you probably won't be there for very long. It's an outdoor smith, like open smith. He's just got basically a canopy and the fire pit's going, and there's a couple workers, but you see a dwarf, big black beard, braided to singed a little bit, long hair that's pulled back into a ponytail that reaches about the middle of his back. But this, I mean, he's been smithing his whole life. This dwarf is a beast, and his hands look like they're more made out of stone than anything else. But as you approach, he looks up at you. Oi, hey there, lad.
Well met. I'm Wander, and this is my companion Zeki.
Hi there.
Hey, Wander, Zeki. I'm Hammer.
Good to meet you, Hammer. I just recently procured this armor, and I'm hoping to find someone that could tailor it to fit me.
Okay, let's see. Takes it and inspects it and looks at the strappings and then looks at you. Oh, I think I could probably manage it. Might have to do. Kind of mumbles, thinking in himself for a moment. Looks back at the armor, back at you, back at the armor, back at you.
Well, I can probably get this to fit. You'll have to come back for it. But I might have to add a little bit. I'd say for about 5 gold to do that for you.
Very well.
How long will the wait time be?
Oh, come back at sunset. Probably be done.
What time is our dinner?
Sunset.
We have a engagement at sunset with Lord Breen. I could either any chance it would be done a little before then, or just come back tomorrow.
He scratches his beard.
I could probably drop what I'm doing and rush it, but that'd be another 2 gold.
Yeah, we can do that.
You think I'll need it for dinner?
Hopefully not, I don't know. What do you want? What would you feel comfortable with?
I'd rather have it.
All right, yeah.
I'm pretty anxious to try it on.
If we could do the express, that would be fantastic.
Fair enough. Come back, 5 hours.
Alrighty. Did you want the gold now or after? I'm sorry.
For rush now.
Alright. Hand that over. 7 gold pieces.
Oh, thank you, lass.
Of
All
course.
right, well,
He pops his knuckles, and it's loud.
well, I'm gonna get to work then.
Thank you
Thank you
kindly.
again.
Take over this job. We gotta rush. All
Good to
right.
meet you, Hammer.
You as well.
Okay. So we'll say, for the sake of narrative, you burn time, come back, and
Wouldn't mind getting down for me there.
I'll take a knee.
so he throws it over the top of you, and you could tell he's kept it so that the size can go back to what it was, but basically increased the straps by quite a lot and added a few layers of much cleaner looking metal underneath it, and fits it to you, and he did good.
Awesome.
Well, that'll do.
Thank you again.
Right, any other weapons or armor you be needing?
I don't believe at this time, no.
No.
Very good. I gotta get back to my other order, a bit behind now, but appreciate your business.
I appreciate your speediness. Have a good day, Hammer.
This goes back to hammering. All right.
Alright, I guess we got a dinner to get ready for.
I believe so.
Okay. Are there any preparations you need before you go?
Zeki will, in fact, cast Mage Armor on herself using the glass staff.
Okay.
Wander will take an actual shower and, well, not a shower, probably find somewhere to, clean up. And,
would
he
Wander
will-
just go to a water trough bucket for animals and clean himself off?
No, he'll if there was fresh water around, he'd take a river bath.
Not really any rivers near Brandywine. It's all wells.
Yeah, he'd try and find a bathhouse or an inn.
Okay. So yeah, that's easy enough. In the festive ward, you find a bathhouse, and
I'm
it's a
not
little bit
surprised.
rowdy. There are people walking around naked, just drinking wine, and you get a bath for a silver. They also offer you someone to bathe you, but that's an extra 3 silver.
Oh no, I'm still healthy enough to bathe myself. Thank you.
It's not the nicest of bathhouses, but I mean, you're Wander. It's good
Yeah.
enough.
It's fine.
Just like a wooden tub of water, and it's kind of lukewarm, but yeah, you get nice and cleaned up. There's bar soap, and yeah, easy
I'll
enough.
clean up. Instead of my travel clothes, I will wear my nicer clothes.
All right. So do you head to the castle ward?
Head on over to the castle ward.
Okay. So you make your way up to the castle ward. There's again the guards. Seems to be 2 different guards from the day you met before, but they stop you. Hello. What business do you have?
Hello, I am Wander, and this is my companion Zeki.
Hi
I've been
there.
invited by Lord Breen for tonight's festivities.
Ah, of course, a banquet. Do you have an invitation, or is it just a walk-in?
Zeki will pull out the letter and hand it over.
He kind of scans it. Oh, Yes, Zeki and Wander, of course. I didn't get a description, only your names, but yes, absolutely. I'm sorry.
We blend in.
What?
We blend in. That's probably why it was a joke.
I get it. I see what you did there. I'm sorry. I'm going to have to ask you to stick out your tongues.
Meh.
Very good.
I get it. Oh. Sorry. And I just...
All right, very good. Well, okay, so you want to head straight towards the castle grounds? You will go to, he kind of looks over they have it roped off, right? Yeah. Right, so just head towards the castle and make for the west side. You will see, the ropes will guide you into the banquet hall.
Very well.
Well, thank you very much.
Of course, and enjoy. All right. So you make your way out. I already described the castle and all that to you guys, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like to give too much detail into these kinds of things because to me, when I'm listening,
I'm already picturing
it kind of kills it. I like to describe insides of rooms certain times, depending, but for something as big as this castle and the courtyard and the surrounding, plant life and all that stuff, it's a castle. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Trimmed hedges and lawns.
Right. Plenty of servants taking care of all the gardening and mixtures of people walking around and all that fun stuff. So you make your way around to the left side, and you enter. There are servants lined up, and I will send you a picture of what the servants are wearing just to make my life easier. Hey guys, future Jordan DM here. I just realized that if you're going to be listening, you won't be able to view the pictures, so I will give you a short description of what the servants look like. Basically, they're in a servant suit, dark blue. Underneath, they have a very light golden vest on. The lapels are a much darker gold. They have some sort of a silk, almost scarf, purplish scarf, necktie, and then underneath all that, the shirt is just a beige color. Not all servants are quite that ornate, but they are, suited up like that. You are greeted with warm smiles and nods as you enter into a smaller room. There's big, heavy double doors. It's almost like a small staging area where people have hung up their coats and left their belongings, and the servants have organized, like a coat check, basically. One of the servants approaches you. Welcome, would you like any of your belongings to be taken care of while you're here?
Oh, yes. And I will hand him my bag and my shield.
Your what?
Is it alright if I hold on to my stuff?
He kind of eyes you over.
I haven't really been to a dinner like this before, so I'm genuinely asking.
We generally don't like weapons unless
Alright,
you
fair
are
enough.
of the guards, but...
No weapons. I don't think.
He does have. Zeki will...
Oh, the crossbow.
Yeah, Zeki will just take off her bag, take off the crossbow, and she'll actually store the 2 stabs into the bag of holding just like this.
Make it easier.
I'll just take care of this. I don't really feel comfortable letting go of those, but if you could take care of these, that would be fantastic. Thank you very much.
Of course, and your names?
Oh, I'm Zeki. Hi.
And I am Wander.
He kind of narrows his eyes. You two are the guests of honor, I believe, right?
If that's what they've labeled us, yes. We were invited by Lord Breen himself.
Very good. Yes, so I will take care of your belongings. That gentleman right there, and you see a much more ornate servant standing by another pair of double doors, and there's noise now coming from that area, which you would expect the main banquet hall to be. Talk to that gentleman there, and he will direct you to Lord Breen.
And what was your name?
My name is Gilbert.
Gilbert. Thank you.
Fucking Wander with his names. God damn. Keeps me on my toes. I like it. Keep it going.
I love it. I've been writing them down, too.
I'm glad you are, because I'm not.
We got you.
All right.
Wander just knows how civilized people are with their names, man. Like, it's funny because for someone who doesn't care about names, he's like overdoing it. Like, oh yes, names. Names are very important to these people.
Names. Okay. Yeah, so I take it you approach.
Yeah.
Yes.
And as he looks over towards you, there's instant recognition in his eyes. Oh, Zeki Wander. Very, very glad you could make it. I am Harmond, and, yes, I will be escorting you to Lord Breen.
Sorry, what did he say his name was? I was still writing.
Harmond.
Harmond. Well met, Harmond.
And Harmond is a high elf. Short blonde hair, green eyes.
What was Gilbert again?
Gilbert was just human.
Okay, human. Yeah. And this is a high elf. Okay.
Yeah, that would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you.
He nods and gestures for you to step into the banquet hall. Speaking of describing, so you enter a large rectangle room. It's about 150 feet by probably 400 feet. The floor is cut tiled white marble with a bit of gray natural veins running through it. The walls are that same heavy, rough cut dark stone, the same as the outside of the castle. The ceiling is dark wood with rafters and the support beams and all that of the same dark wood holding it all together. From the rafters there are massive iron chandeliers with large candles. There are standing lanterns kind of spread throughout, as well as lantern holders on the wall lighting everything up. On the left side of the room, there's giant arc-shaped windows that stretch pretty much from the floor to the ceiling. You would guess that's to let a lot of natural light in, but since the sun is now setting, you have to rely on the candlelight. The walls are pretty bare, aside for a few massive curtains to cover the windows and banners of about a dozen or so Brandywine flags spaced even. Did I ever tell you what the Brandywine flag looked like?
If you did, I don't remember.
Okay.
Same here.
It's pretty simple. It's basically a purple flag with a reeling horse, and behind that is a cluster of grapes with some vines. So
Reeling, does that mean like up in the air?
Rearing, yeah.
Rearing.
Rearing,
Okay.
sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
So in the room, the space is filled with massive dark oak tables, each with a stretch of food running down the center of them. It's basically people are eating family style. There are a pretty good mix of race in here, mostly humans and gnomes, but there are a few dwarves, some high elves, some wood elves, some ash elves. You spot a tiefling or two, something that kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. There's a Goliath sitting at one of the tables, kind of hunched over, eating.
I can't remember if we've been through this. Has Wander ever seen a Goliath?
They are extremely rare, and they usually are up north.
Yeah.
You can roll for it.
Okay.
Just roll a d20 and tell me what.
4.
No.
Okay. Well, either way, Wander's eyes are very excited at one of the few creatures he's ever seen as tall as himself.
Yeah.
Or taller, I don't know.
You're not sure with him sitting down, but he's definitely bulkier.
And he's definitely bigger.
Yeah. So as you kind of scan the room, there's just a mix of class and status. I mean, there's a few smaller tables with the more lordly looking kind of set off to the side, but among them, there's peasants. You see some town's guards, some blue cloaks, marked in, just all sitting together and eating. As the servant steps in, he kind of stops and.
Oh, sorry. Got really caught up in your description.
Mm-hmm.
I meant to tell you that before we walked in here, I was going to cast Enhance Ability on Zeki.
Okay.
Oh.
So, sorry, just quick rewind. Just before we actually came into the came into the banquet hall and all that, probably between the two guards, I would just put my hand on Zeki's shoulder, thinking back to the last time we had a banquet, and just remind her, I know you get nervous as I do. Just know you have a way with people that runs deeper than mere surface level conversation. So don't doubt yourself when we go in here. You're very charming, and use it. And I will give you Eagle Splendor. So for the next hour, you have advantage on charisma checks.
Ooh. Thank you, Wander. That is very kind.
Sorry, taking a short break. Okay. So anything else you need before you enter? As we're back in time for a moment.
I'm just clicking off that spell I just cast.
Okay.
And I'm good to go.
So the servant kind of stops and goes, I apologize. Lord Breen will be with you in just a moment. Just wait here.
Oh, of course.
By all means.
The center of the room is opened up as the tables are kind of off to the sides. Seems to be that there's some entertainment taking place in the center of the room right now. Two men are dressed in traditional fencing armor with dull fencing swords squaring off. You hear a loud bell go off and they immediately begin. They both step forward. And you could tell by the way they stand and the positioning of their bodies and feet that these men are experienced in swordplay and fencing. They kind of do a couple mock swings, seeming to sizing each other up a bit. The man on the left steps forward with like a quick lunge, aiming almost for the neck, but with a quick movement, the man on the right riposts and counters and strikes at the lower abdomen, but just as fast the blades scrape together and is pushed aside. The man on the left jumps back and then jumps forward right away, making two lightning fast mock thrusts, which seems to kind of throw off his opponent. He follows it up with sliding his forward foot out, twisting his midsection and thrusting forward, bending himself very, very low to the ground. And the series of movements was just too quick as he lunges a sword at his opponent, and the dull blade flexes as it thuds against the armor. And all those in the audience who are watching, just you hear an applause go through as the winner takes a bow and they shake each other's hands. You see a pair of servants walk up to the man on the left, and he takes off his fencing helmet. You see a man in his late 30s, early 40s probably. Did you go? I don't know. I have too many notes. Anyways, he looks a little bit boyish, almost. Average height, blonde hair in a short ponytail pulled back. He's sweating, breathing kind of heavily. Passes his helmet over to the servant and kind of looks about the room and then spots the both of you, and his eyes light up and he starts making his way over to you. Zeki and Wander.
Hi there.
His arms are kind of spread out. It is so nice to finally meet you and for you to be here. I am Lord Breen. And as he approaches you and starts talking, he kind of takes like a T pose, and two servants walk up. They look significantly different from the other servants. I will link what they are wearing. Hey guys, future me again. Just here to describe what the robed figures are looking like. So they're wearing a dark blue robe, all cloth. There is multi-layered spalders on their shoulders, but again, it's made of cloth. They have high collars, and then the sleeves are long sleeves, and they kind of droop down. And then there's gold arcane symbols that run across the trimming of the chest down to the ground. The arcane runes kind of spread out among the bottom end of the robe. Everything's trimmed in a light blue. They have metal belt/girdles on, which have sapphire gems attached to them. And then at the top, where the neck is, kind of tying the higher part of the robes together, is a circular golden brooch type jewelry with, again, another sapphire-colored gem in the middle of that. So there is a high elf male and a high elf female, they begin just undressing him, basically. You could see prestidigitation is going off to clean off the sweat on his brow and fix his hair. And as they take off the fencing armor, they're clearing off the sweat stains. And Breen just has a smile on his face as he's basically changing in front of the middle of this banquet hall. Kind of gives you a little bit of an insight onto who the type of person that Breen is. It's just... And the servants have a look on their face like, yep, same shit as every other day, basically.
Upon hearing his name, Zeki will do just like a small little bow. And I've heard amazing things about you from our mutual friend Sildar. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, officially.
And you
That
as
robe
well.
is so sick.
It is. It's so cool.
So yes, I feel like I know the both of you already. I am rather disappointed that Sildar decided to step down from his post. He will be a hard man to replace.
Impossible.
Ah, you're not wrong. Off to your side, there's another figure that walks up. Human. He's got brown skin, short, naturally curly black hair, light plain leather on, a tan long sleeve shirt and brown linen pants. And he wears a rather ornate polished rapier, which I will send you the picture of as well. This is so much easier than describing things. Unless, of course, you're future me, and then you have to describe them anyway. And this one kind of is hard to describe, and I'm not the best at describing things if you haven't figured that out already, but just picture a very elven designed rapier. The handguard is strips of polished silver that twist and curl, and it's very flowing and beautiful, and yeah, just silver handguard and handle, and then the polished steel rapier itself. That's probably the best I can do. Sorry.
We're getting so many pictures today. Ooh, that's pretty.
So Lord Breen kind of glances over. Oh, sorry. Just give me a moment.
Of course.
Walks over, and you hear the trainer. Well, that was pretty good, Breen, but I can't help but wonder what would have happened if you missed your strike at the end. You opened yourself up a great deal. Very messy. I know, it's a hard habit to break. I can't help but take the chance on that sort of stuff. Well, tomorrow we will refine that strike since you are so fond of it. Alright, in the morning then? Yes. And he glances at the two of you and gives you a nod, and Lord Breen walks back over. Sorry, that was my trainer, Horace. Dare I say he's probably the best swordsmith in Keeman. Or not smith, but trainer, rather. He's trained me since I was young.
It was a very impressive fight. It's not a skill I possess, so I am always in awe of those who are talented in the ways of swordplay.
Agreed.
It is
Aye,
almost like an art form. It's
indeed.
But I'll tell you one thing. As long as Horace has been training me, I have yet to land a blow on him. He kind of glances at Horace a couple times, who is now starting to walk away, and gets kind of a smirk on his face and does a very cartoony tiptoe, and with his training sword still in his hand, just swings at the back of Horace, and you see Horace spin around, draw his sword lightning fast, block it, does a flip, and sends the sword out of Breen's hand through the air, and one of the mages that was cleaning up Lord Breen just reaches out and snatches it out of the air.
Oh, they are way too used to all this.
Ha! Very good. Very perceptive, Horace.
The servants kind of... Did you say that out loud, Carmen? I don't know if you did.
Yeah, that was Zeki. Absolutely was like, oh, they're way too used to this. With like just like with a smile on her face, because that was fantastic.
Yeah, the servant's eyes just kind of flick at you, and you see a little bit of a roll in his eyes. Sorry, Wander. What did you say?
I I just told Horace I complimented his perception.
Well, Breen is not as stealthy as he thinks. But since you are so full of energy, after the banquet, meet me in the training ground. And Lord Breen kind of sighs. All right. Turns and joins you again. Okay. I suppose first things first. As the music cuts out. Well, it doesn't cut. Is rhythm still going?
I hear it.
I
Okay.
might have to turn him up.
So Lord Breen kind of turns and... Attention, my fellow people of Brandywine. Now the music dies. And you can mute Rhythm Bot or whatever. I don't feel like finagling with it. It is my great honor to introduce to you our special guests of the evening. These two brave beings risked their souls to root out an evil in the infant town of Kinder. These evil men sought to take advantage of its vulnerable peoples, plotting schemes of malice. Make no mistake, my friends, if these two did not step forward selflessly, corruption would have no doubt taken root. So I present to all of you the heroes of Kindertown, and indeed heroes of us all, Zeki the sorceress, and Wander the druid of the Lost Woods. Let us show our thanks. And there's an applaud throughout the banquet hall as a few rise to their feet, clapping. And so, my friends, let us eat to our fill, and let us drink and be merry. Let us celebrate them. Because although we approach uncertain times, we can take comfort in knowing that our gracious gods have placed upon these lands those that will fight to protect us. So here is to Wander and Zeki, and here is to our just gods. May they watch over us all. There's another applause as people start to go back to their meals. All right.
How sincere did he seem in this?
Make an insight check.
Not too... 16.
He seems sincere.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very well.
All right. Okay, so I have a designated table for you. I know I heard from Lord Breen that you're not large fans of big crowds, but... So I've set a table, and he points near to the front of the stage to a small circular table. So, yes, if you're hungry, and we can sit and we can talk, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you have, and there's a performance later by Amber.
Ember?
Sorry, my notes.
Also, you said Lord Breen when I think you meant Solar.
Probably. Too many.
I figured.
I did not make notes on Amber. Okay, either way, her name is Amber. So yes, that'll be the highlight of the evening, is a performance by Amber. Zeki, you can make a history check on her if you'd like.
Ooh, sure. All right. Not bad. What's my history? Ooh, okay. 18.
Okay, you have heard of Amber, and depending on how much Zeki is interested in music, perhaps you have wanted to see her. She hails from the Eastern Kingdoms. She is basically a celebrity performer.
I think the way I'd call it is Zeki herself isn't like super into music, but she's traveled with enough bards to know of like who Amber is and why she's got her fame.
Yeah, the bards definitely do talk about her. So, shall we?
Yes, that is
Indeed.
Very thoughtful of you. Thank you so much.
So you all take your seats, and there's a pretty good spread of food just sitting center table. Mixtures of cut cubed meats and steamed vegetables and potatoes and cheeses and breads and things of that nature. Well, neither of you have been to Brandywine, right?
No, this is our first time here.
Well,
Correct.
You must try the wine then. After all, this is where the city gets its name, and he reaches
We have heard a lot of humbug about this wine.
Love you, honey.
This wine is a bit different than what you'll find in the festive ward, processed a bit differently. And because it is so easy to drink. There is just a touch of bitterness to this wine, just to remind you that you are drinking wine. It can...
Understandable.
Right, sneak up on you a little bit, but he distributes wine glasses and pours out this very dark, purple liquid, and immediately begins drinking. Ah, that is good.
Zeki will also start sipping from the wine.
It is delicious. Almost, there's no bite of alcohol. As it enters your mouth and goes down your throat, it's almost like silk. It's like a cloud. It's smooth, flavorful, and, as he said, very, very easy to drink, setting aside the fact that the aftertaste, there is a slight bitterness that lingers. But yeah, it is easily the best wine either of you have ever had. I don't know what wines you've had in your life, but easily the best.
Zeki doesn't get the good shit very often.
Yeah.
Oh, I definitely see what you mean. This is dangerous.
It's delicious.
Yes. And luckily this isn't addicting, but yes, the wine in the festive ward has actual addictive properties in it, so...
So we've been warned.
Yeah. But either way, I feel as though I already know your tale, as far as at least in regards to Kinder. Is there anything you want to know of me?
I guess...
It's fine if there's not. You don't have to humor me. It's just...
No, I would care to get to know you better. First, thank you for this invitation. While Sildar was correct, neither of us do very well with large crowds sometimes. We found ourselves to become a bit of a novelty in Kindertown. I do appreciate the invitation, and it was very generous of you.
Of course, the pleasure is mine. What you did in Kinder was remarkable.
Does your control or jurisdiction, does it involve Kindertown?
Technically, it can be complicated. So as you know, I don't bear a crown, but the people that established Kinder, most of them are from Brandywine, but as far as I'm concerned, they are free people, and they can serve whatever kingdom they choose to serve. If they wish to answer to my name, that's great. If they wish to answer to someone else, well, that's their business.
That's very honorable of you.
Well, yeah, I don't know if honorable is the right word, but I appreciate you saying it. I don't know. I just don't like the idea of a crown ever since my grandfather gave it up. I've just selected a group of men to establish law and order here, and every major decision is up to these group of men. It doesn't boil down to the singular man, the king. I'm sure I don't want to say too much, but I think I am regarded as the king, and my word, I know, does hold weight, but I just don't care for it. The taste is bad in my mouth.
Yeah, that's understandable. Not a lot of kings have happy endings.
It's very true. But either way, there at that point is a very lordly-looking high elf that approaches the table, wearing green earth tone robes and silver gold embroidery of vines and leaves. Long hair that he is very straight, just down to about his shoulders. Kind of sharp features, a little bit of an extended eyebrow over his eyes. And he gives the two of you a nod and... This is Thuldar, the Lord of the House Thuldar, of course. He is the owner of On the Vine. And he smiles at you both and kind of extends a dainty hand, a little bit feminine, you could say, outstretched towards the both of you.
I will accept it.
Okay, let me...
And when I notice how delicate it is, I will delicately shake it.
Yes, it is, my honor to finally meet the both of you. I have heard tales of what you did in Kinder, and, of course you are the guests of honor, so any guest of honor to Lord Breen is definitely a guest of honor to me. So I wanted to come over and introduce myself, and, actually offer you a gift. And he pulls out a coin that, it's a large gold coin with some grape and an embroidery on it, and hands it to whoever accepts it. He just holds it out.
Zeki would.
It's a gold coin, so yeah. Wait for Zeki.
So that is a coin that I only hand out to select people. If you find yourself needing a place to stay tonight. As Lord Breen mentioned, I am the owner of On the Vine. So what that coin does is entitles you to a free room for the night and half off of the food and wine that you consume in the dining area.
Oh, we can stay there 2 nights in a row.
Oh, you've already been there.
We did have the pleasure of spending the night last night. It is a fantastic place.
It came highly recommended as the best choice to stay in Brandywine, and it lived up to that.
Well, I am glad that you both enjoyed it and that it has that reputation. I was going to warn you that some of the servants in there can look down on people, but once you
It'll be fun giving this coin to them.
Exactly, yes. Once you give them that coin, you will notice that their attitude will definitely shift.
It's so fun watching people act like that. Thank you for this most gracious gift. It is very appreciated.
Of course.
Indeed. And we are no strangers to suspicion and confused looks. So, well, it is fine.
You two are quite the pair. But yes. Well, I was going to apologize on their behalf, but it seems maybe I don't need to.
No
Not
apology needed.
Right. Well, I didn't want to be intrusive. I'll let you get back to your meals and enjoy your banquet.
Thank you again.
It was a pleasure meeting you.
You as well.
What did you say his name was, DM?
Thuldar.
Could you spell that for me, please?
F.
Oh
If you
god,
can.
that's amazing.
You know, there's a letter in the English language, you know, F.
Yeah, for TH. That's how it's pronounced as F.
So THULDAR.
I knew it.
F.
Oh god. That's amazing.
THUL?
THULDAR.
Alright, thank you.
Why is it so hot in here?
Oh. Want a fifth sandwich?
What was that?
That was amazing. Full bar. My name's Thildar. I'm an adventurer.
I gotta make a kill. Oh god. I can't. Alright, good night, everyone.
Good night,
It's been a
indeed.
fantastic game. All right. See you next.
That was so good. Thildar.
All right.
So, I have a question for the both of you.
Hopefully,
By
we've
all
got an
means.
answer.
Keep in mind, I have already made this decision. This is more to understand the two of you better. What do you think I should do with Glassstaff?
Ooh.
Huh. Well, what have you done with him so far? Let's start there.
Well, he has been investigated. We have compiled evidence. He has been tried, and he is up for execution.
Because you can't trust him, even his words are too dangerous, correct? That's the problem.
The problem is that... Yes, in part, you could say. But he is a treasonous person against the interests of Brandywine.
If he was easily swayed once before, he could be easily swayed once again.
Exactly. And although the laws here are considered fair, there are a few laws that are unbreakable. And treason is one of them.
Yeah, that's
Interesting.
understandable.
But, with that out of your minds, please tell me what you would do.
I know personally, while reading his notes, it's obvious he's got a very brilliant mind, and it would be a shame to just have that leave this planet. I know how hard it can be to try and trust someone after they've broken that trust. In fact, I'm the type of person that doesn't trust someone again after they've broken that trust. So, while I would hate to advocate for the death of a man, I don't think letting him live would be a good idea.
I appreciate that viewpoint. And Wander? And he's reading the both of you at this point.
Yes. What do you know of Urbolgs?
Hang on. I actually know a fair deal. I know that they are secluded. I know that they are in small number. They stick to their tribes, often lovers of nature, most coming from the Lost Wood.
Indeed. You know that no Furbolg tribe carries any form of a death penalty?
Interesting. Even for the most heinous of crimes.
The most heinous of crimes are dealt with through... Sorry, my mind's drawing a blank on that. Like, what's the term when you, like, cast someone out? Like...
Just,
Banishment.
Banishment,
Exile,
yeah.
thank you.
Exile,
Exile,
there it is.
totally. Most heinous of crimes would be dealt with through banishment from the tribe. Which, in a way, is a form of death for a Furbolg.
Do correct me if I'm wrong, but furbolgs are generally more mild in their nature, right?
Typically, yes, but someone who is... And it's very rare that a Furbolg would need to be exiled from the tribe. It would take unspeakable acts, as we are concerned. So it's hard for me to feel free to speak on such matters. But with that being said, I have spent enough time around other groups, other peoples, other nations, that I've come to understand the horrible necessity that is death as punishment. With that being said, personally, the way I conduct myself is if someone needs to die through defense, in the moment, what must be done must be done. And I make the choice of my own to live with that guilt and that weight for the rest of my life. But once the heat of the moment is done and someone is captured and surrendered, I personally don't want to live with... I choose not to live with that guilt. It would come with the weight of choosing to take someone's life at that moment. But I'm only responsible for the decisions of myself, not that of a kingdom. So I'm much freer in the decisions I make. There's a certain amount of... And Wander looks around this just magnificent room in its size and grandeur, and these huge chandeliers in this giant banquet hall. For all that a person of nobility or stewardship or kingdom does have in riches, there's a certain amount of servitude you yourself have. And unfortunately, your hands can feel tied at times.
Indeed. I believe that if I wasn't running a kingdom, that I would probably agree with you more, Wander. That is where my actions would change, but the difference between you and I is I do not feel the burden of knowing that there's a death on my hands, because I know I have saved countless others. I guess you could call it a counterbalance.
Needs of many versus the needs of the few.
Exactly. So, these furbolgs that are exiled, there's no worry that they will come back with revenge in their hearts.
I don't think worry is the right word, but it is a calculated choice. And it has happened. There have been ones that have sought retribution and revenge. And to some extent, they've probably gotten it. But those actions have led to other consequences. As I said, furbolgs are not pacifists by any means. We will defend ourselves violently if necessary, as my time in Kindertown has shown.
So perhaps, from what I'm maybe reading from you, is that maybe furbolgs have a different view of death than a commoner of the kingdom would.
I think we have a different view of life. Sacredness. No matter what role we play, it would be a very rare furbolg that feels they have the right to choose whether or not something else lives and dies, unless it is a dire circumstance. But that gets into even the way a furbolg views ownership in many things. And I'm not advocating that this is a better way of living. I understand furbolgs are very different creatures than humans or dwarves or elves or tieflings. There is a certain amount of privilege that comes to the way furbolgs live their life. We are smaller in number, therefore we have less impact on the world around ourselves. We choose to stay secluded. And to be fair, I haven't always agreed with that choice. There have been times in the past, and no doubt there will be times in the future, when great threats that threaten the very existence of all life will come up. And there's a very good chance that no furbolgs will be seen in the great armies that wage those wars. So, again, like I said, I understand. I have a freedom to say what I say that I don't take for granted.
Yes. And you shouldn't. Zeki, so I'm curious. You said that you would never trust a betrayer again. Is it for fear of the safety of yourself and your loved ones, or simply because you now hate what they've done and that revenge burns in your heart?
I think a good way to put it would be if they were able to do it once after everything that we've been through at that point in time, then what's to stop them from doing it again? And that can put, like you said, myself and anyone that I care for at the time in danger. Or even then, just I don't really see the point in keeping company with someone who finds it a good idea to betray someone that you're traveling with or caring for, when you could also just very much not.
I think you would make a fine lady of a house. There is cold calculation that is sometimes needed. Speaking of which, I heard tale that you have inherited or been given a manor.
We have. We've even named it.
Oh?
And
Yeah,
I will.
it's Stormbranch Manor now.
Stormbranch Manor.
And
Wander do the thing.
I'll conjure up the living image of it. This is the insignia.
Well, are they getting that made for you? I'd be more than happy to put the order in.
I think we left them with that to do.
Yeah, there's a couple of gnome brothers that are dear to us that are working on the house now. Dwarf. Wow. It's been a while.
Okay.
And that's on me not going back and double checking the shit I see.
Well, speaking of lord and lady, now that you do own that property and manor, I could technically make you a lord and a lady.
Would that have to come with the responsibilities of your average lord and lady?
Some
does
other
that-
lords will expect certain behavior.
Ooh.
But as for the general populace, the title comes with nothing more than maybe an occasional perk here and there.
What is I understand the term lord and lady is one of respect, I get that, but what does it take to be labeled that?
Well, it all... There's a lot of red tape, you could say, and a lot of qualifications and specifications. It mostly boils down to the amount of your estate. It has to do with your bloodline. It has to do with, basically your overall estate, and status in general. But, me being me, I can cut a few of those ropes and get you there.
While it is a gracious offer and it's greatly appreciated, I feel like I will like to pass. I don't want to speak for Wander, though.
Understandable.
I also feel similar. It is, again, very gracious of you, Lord Breen. Been a very kind host. But no, I don't think the title quite fits me.
I understand.
To be fair, I also never ever thought that I'd actually own a house, so life has been changing lately.
Much less a large estate as that one.
Oh yeah.
Once upon a time, it was quite nice. I'm sure they will fix it up better than before for you.
I do look forward to see how it turns out.
For you, a question, Lord Breen. What would be an appropriate way of handling that estate, considering we won't spend much time there regularly?
I would suggest, if you have the coin, to hire one or two servants to keep it tidy for you. I don't know if that answered your question, but
I suppose so.
if
I
you
just
plan
didn't know.
on leaving any of your belongings there, it's better to have somebody who is lived in to keep watch over it.
That does make sense, yeah.
What I would do is I would hire... Have you heard of a house carl?
Have I?
It's a fairly common... Just roll a d20.
Okay. Come on, D20. You've been rolling well for me tonight. That's a 19.
3.
Wander, you have not.
Checks out.
This tracks.
The DC was high for Wander, but low for you. Yeah, basically what they are is that they are bodyguards / servant. They are trained, armored, carry weapons. They don't like serve you food and clean per se,
Right.
but they will keep things tidy, but more importantly, guard.
Groundskeepers.
Right. That would be my suggestion.
Interesting. Very well. And tell me, what worries do you have of the region surrounding area, if you don't mind my asking? Besides, well, sorry, I feel like maybe we've skipped over Glassstaff a bit much. I have a tendency of wandering around answers. To answer you more directly, I don't know what to tell you other than if there is a way to rehabilitate someone, it is worth trying. And if there is not, people must be protected from those who would cause great harm.
Mm-hmm. It was merely a question to get you to help me better understand both of your points of views. As I said, the decision has already been made, and it will remain that way. But
Understandable.
I do appreciate the insight from you, Wander.
Would we be allowed to speak with Glassstaff before this was carried out?
I could certainly try to arrange that, yes.
I think that could be fruitful. I
You got questions for him, Wander?
don't know. I'd have to see him. I have a feeling, though, if I was in front of him again, I might. We have spent quite a bit of time using his belongings.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think he quite enjoy the fact that I do carry around his old staff.
No, but
some of his belongings.
His staff is quite useful, honestly.
as is his alchemical set.
That is also true.
Zeki, as it turns out, is quite the purveyor of alchemy as well.
Oh.
Yeah, I've had a lot of practice with like smaller like healing potions and stuff, so getting in on larger ones have been fun, and I'm sure just a lot of luck in my hand.
Well, if you ever want a job on the castle grounds in alchemy, we could certainly use an alchemist. Something to keep in mind.
I will definitely keep that in mind.
But yes, Glassstaff, from what I've heard of him, was a skilled man. There's not too many wizards floating around. But the people do need to see that actions have consequences. And that's all I can say to that.
And that is understandable.
Now,
Indeed.
I was going to ask you another question, but I forget. Ah, yes. As far as meeting Glassstaff, I will set the gears in motion. It might be a few days, but yes, I will send word when that has been arranged.
While we are in Brandywine, would you know of anyone? Would you recommend if I had questions about enchantments of items? Do you have access to anyone who could guide me on something?
Enchanters are an extremely rare skill. Unfortunately, there is none in Brandywine. The only place I know of that has enchanters is in Lanternhold, and you need to get permission.
Who was Tholdar again?
Tholdar was the elf lord that gave you the coin.
Right. Okay.
Owner of On the Vine.
Yep.
And I forgot to mention, Wander, just with your passive insight, that guy was all surface. Smile that didn't reach his eyes. You could tell it was more that he was trying to please Breen over actually pleasing the two of you. He was very, very fake.
Zeki is blissfully unaware.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I didn't even ask for an insight check. Because
I totally expected you to as well. And, I mean, you do got high passive, which is good, but, yeah, I very much expected it. Anyways, so you do have to get permission from one of the wizards of the academy at Harlean in order to enter into Lanternhold.
From who from Harlean? From one of the
wizards at the academy that's there. Harlean is the only kingdom that is known to have a wizard school, at least in Kieman. I believe there might be one or two in the eastern kingdoms.
Sorry, I'll be right back.
Gotcha. And does Wander know where Lanternhold or Harlean are?
You have seen the map enough, but make a history or either history or survival.
That is a 17. Survival.
Yeah,
17 survival.
You know that it's on the west coast.
Okay.
Both Harlean and Lanternhold.
Okay. Interesting.
Magic is very carefully guarded.
Yeah, I don't really know how to hide that.
To hide magic?
Magic that we possess. I would assume if it's carefully guarded, I don't know. Is it frowned upon, the use of it?
It is not frowned upon at all. It's something that the common would marvel at. It's just that the more, I should say, the higher levels of ancient knowledge and magic is what is heavily guarded. No doubt you've heard of the High Elves of Dorath, but those who have the knowledge of, let's say, land-changing magic, those are the ones that are very carefully guarded, and their secrets are very carefully guarded. It's like having the most powerful weapon. It dwarfs any other weapon that any kingdom could possess. Any amount of army cannot stand up to the power of those who have the greater knowledge of magics.
Indeed. I forgive my ignorance. I don't know. Sometimes it's hard for me to know the difference between... Anyways, when you say land changing, could you be more specific?
Well, for example, the Wizards of Lanternhold have been experimenting with shifting lands out across the ocean. They have created a... What do you call a cluster of islands? I forget. Archipelago.
You just pulled that out, damn.
So, quite literally land shifting, but...
Yes.
I mean, just the ability to wipe out an army with a single attack, or summon things from unknown places, or... I mean,
yes.
I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know much about the higher delicacies of magic, but just ones that are powerful enough to be a large threat.
Yes. It's as much use of magic as Zeki and I have, there's a very large difference between innate castings that we can do and the untold decades that arcane researchers do. My magic is limited to that which nature provides, whereas theirs is probably only limited by time and their own imaginations.
Interesting. Well, you probably know more than I do about magic then. As the tail end of that sentence, the band stops. Ladies and gentlemen, the main event of the night, all the way from the Eastern Kingdoms, the renowned bard, Amber. Out steps an ash elf. She is wearing black slacks, a red silk shirt, a nice black vest with a red tie. Her makeup is done. She has very vividly bright red colors in her theme of her clothes, and her makeup very bright lipstick. She has dark eyeshadow that slowly fades as it kind of travels to the sides of her eyes into that same vivid red. Her hair is braided up. It's braided in a ton of small braids and then bunched up and put a bun on the top of her head. She's gorgeous. Her hair, the lower half of the braids of her hair, from the roots to about the mid length of her hair, is again just a very, very bright red as she steps out with some sort of lute in her hand. As she begins kind of tuning and plucking on her strings, there's now a hush over the whole banquet as everybody's eyes are on her. She wears a somber expression. You can tell she's very serious at her craft. So as she's plucking on her strings, every reaction as the music notes fill the air at the base of her head begins to glow. A amber coal, a smoldering fire color of hot coals, and out from the top of her head, it's like the sparks of a crackling fire, which with each note she strums, there's that reaction of the glow and the sparks out of the top of her head, and she begins to play. Hey guys, sorry, one more interruption. Although I'm not worried about copyright things, I don't plan on this ever getting popular enough to worry about stuff like that. I do feel kind of bad about directly ripping off a song, so I have just cut that out. But it's called Enchanters, so you can probably figure out on your own if you want to listen to the song. But otherwise, I'm going to cut it out. So at the end of her performance, the banquet erupts. There are people pulling from the flowers ornaments that are in the center of the table, pulling and throwing roses on stage, and Lord Breen stands up and claps and tosses a rose himself as she takes a bow and just kind of continues playing with the rest of the band. Oh, I don't know what it is about her, but she gives me the chills.
I can definitely understand the hop around her. That was gorgeous.
Ever heard a performance like that?
Do you know the significance of that song?
Not beyond what I just heard.
You can make history checks.
Let's see if Zeki paid attention at one point.
Wander.
No, she did not.
Okay. Wander, it's an auto fail for you, unfortunately. Because,
Natural 3.
Well, besides that, because of an a previous failed roll back in
Yeah.
Port Harley.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, we're going way back.
Oh.
What did I roll for back there?
To try to know the history of the Dragonborn.
Ah.
Not specifically, no.
Well, it's actually a pretty interesting time in history. So, during the Divergence, there was a period of time that was known as the Dragon Times. When the gods constructed the Divine Gates, it seemed they were quite busy with their works. Most people found themselves without the protection of their gods. And seeing the vulnerability, you could say, the dragons came forth in droves. Seeking to dominate all the races, they demanded allegiance and worship. But they used their followers as play toys, often burning down civilizations just for entertainment. The people lived in fear, and many bands came together to fight the dragons, but the dragons' power was always just too overwhelming. This pattern repeated for hundreds of years. Civilizations would rebuild and strive to please their dragon gods, and the dragons would destroy them. And again, the people would band together to fight, but it was always hopeless. But one day, a group of 6 cloaked figures came forth, making their way across the lands. They stopped at each civilization, setting up dragon wards, providing powerful enchantments of weapons and armor to fight the dragons. And people say that with a mere wave of the hand, they could provide enchantments that would take months or even years for the enchanters of that time to make. Some believed that these beings were the last passages of the few gods before they locked themselves behind the gates. No one ever got a good look upon their faces. But in time, this group was known as the Enchanters. As word spread throughout the lands, that very song was sung as a prayer to them, in hopes that they would come and save those who needed them most. And in time, a large chunk of dragons were killed off, the rest retreated, and those that retreated were cursed by the Enchanters. The curse was that their offspring would be small and helpless. They would have no wings forever to walk the lands as mortals, and thus the Dragonborn came to be. The dragons that chose not to take part in the bloodshed were blessed. The blessing was that... Now this is something that I don't fully understand, and probably a bit of the translation was lost in history, but the blessing was that their heart would never die, even if their flesh did. Some dragons were even rumored to have the power to grant wishes to those who they chose. But the 6 enchanters left Keeman on the backs of dragons themselves, forever disappearing into the unknown lands to the south. And there are legends that say that sometimes a dragon is spotted with a rider on them, the rider either being one of the enchanters or the offspring of the enchanters. That's all speculation and myth, but some claim to have met these dragon riders, saying that they are blessed with natural connections to dragons as riders and trainers of them. But, yeah.
History is so interesting.
Fascinating. Okay, I know I failed my roll on all that. Like, the song. Have I ever heard any form of this story about the 6 cloaked figures, these enchanters?
Make a history check.
10.
You've heard them as much as any other myth or legend.
Right.
Very little information, but yeah, you've heard of them.
It's fascinating. I've never heard any of the details of their story like that. I'm I tend to lean towards all myths are based in reality. It's just always interesting to find out the details of that reality in whatever form they might get passed down. Are there any of these dragon riders still left?
No idea. The enchanters who left never came back, and those who have claimed to have seen dragon riders are... They never have proof, you know? It's hard to convince people nowadays of anything that they don't see with their own eyes.
We met a dragonborn once.
Yeah, you'll spot a few around in Brandywine as well. How was that interaction?
He was a man of his word. He was a ship captain out of Port Harley.
There's quite a few dragonborn are sailors. I'm not sure why.
There's something about the sea that helps you feel like you have no past. Just a guess. I've never heard that history of dragonborns before.
You seemed so sure to that explanation.
I say what comes to mind. I think aloud a lot. For someone who spends as much time as I do meditating, I spend a lot of time thinking out loud.
Yeah.
That's true.
I mean, I don't think that's a bad thing.
It gets me in trouble a bit, and I look at Zeki.
At this point, I've come to learn when he's talking to me and when he's kind of just talking at the air. Though at first it was confusing.
Sometimes it's plants, though.
Sometimes it is plants.
Ah,
Very good listeners. They never interrupt.
I would imagine not.
Well, sometimes they would.
I'll have to do some...
That is true. Apple trees.
Apple trees, you don't say.
Quite the personality.
I'll have to
It
do
was
some research
Granny
on
Smith.
a Granny Smith. And so it talked back to you.
Yes. It was something that... It was magic.
Ah.
It was a temporary enchantment that it gave it sentience, but it was conscious of its own memories somehow. I could not tell you how it works.
I'll have to browse the archives on some knowledge of the druids. I don't have much of how it all works there.
It's been interesting to learn that, I can tell you for a fact.
Speaking of interesting to learn, the Goliath, was that a male or a female?
You
Or
only
can I
saw
tell?
its back.
Okay. And is it still in the room?
Yeah, it's just eating.
Okay. That large creature there, what is that?
That is a Goliath, and one of my personal bodyguards.
Really? Why would you ever choose them to be a bodyguard?
I mean, have you seen it?
Sorry, I'm not very good with humor.
Ah, gotcha.
Not used to meeting ones that rival my height, and then its stature alone. Is that a male or a female?
It is a female.
And her name?
Olg.
Olg. Interesting.
I'm
Where...
pretty sure if she wanted to, she could snap me in half.
I wouldn't doubt.
Fascinating. What are Goliaths like?
They can be temperamental at times, but they're mostly quiet, reserved. They find their purpose, and they stick to it. But mostly outside, I guess you could say, of combat, they're... I don't know if gentle is the right word, but...
Passive, maybe?
Yeah, passive. At least that one is.
And where do they hail from?
Oh, up in the mountains to the north. The frozen lands mostly is where they come from.
Makes some sense. It's hard to imagine a soft creature coming from that area.
Yeah.
You would need to be quite rugged and built for the elements. Although the lack of body hair is surprising.
Yes, they I don't know if she shaves, but yeah, I've never seen one tuft of hair on her.
Maybe she's just really warm down south.
I haven't quite
I'll
yet
have to
figured
ask
out
her.
your jokes, Wander, but that's probably not an appropriate question to ask her. Oh! Gotcha. That was my own mind. I apologize. You meant literally being down south.
Yeah, we are
Yes.
getting kind of close to the coast, even in Brandywine, especially considering where she might be from.
I believe I've made a joke that I don't even understand.
Sometimes my mind.
Can't always
You know,
help it.
it happens to the best of us.
Well, I'm glad I'm in good company. One that appreciates a flub and the other that doesn't understand it.
Not always, no. Unfortunately, somehow make inside jokes that I'm outside of quite often. But it seems to entertain Zeki, so
Well, maybe she can explain it to you later.
perhaps.
Yeah.
I can just
once we get
imagine
back to the room.
Wander just walking up and being like, "Excuse me, but does the carpet match the pubes?" Oh my god,
No.
that's amazing. I'm just glad that you had Breen go along with Logan's joke.
At this point, a servant walks up and whispers something in Breen's ear, and you can kind of see his face sink a little bit and looks up to him and thank you.
Can I hear what the servant says?
Make a perception check.
There it is. Took all game. Wow. With my plus 11, it's a 13 with advantage. I rolled a 1 and a 2, my friends.
Wow. You do not hear.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, he sighs as the servant walks away. Well, I'm sorry, but it appears we will be having an unexpected guest tonight.
Is everything all right?
Well, it is the Jarl of Greydor, one of the right-hand men to King Greydor. For him to show up in person, I can only imagine.
I take it King Greydor. Did you say King Greydor?
Yeah.
Yeah. I take it King Greydor doesn't send his emissaries very often.
No, there was a brief question that you touched upon, Wander, that you wanted to know the status of things, correct?
Yes, I asked what was weighing on you. What were your concerns of the surrounding areas?
Well, if Karn's about to show up, I think your question will be answered.
Interesting. Would this have anything to do with Zeki and mine's presence?
I have no idea.
I guess we might just find out.
I think I do. I apologize. Might not have realized upon inviting us, but we have a way of attracting attention wherever we go, unfortunately.
Well, I can't say for sure, but it's really, this is nothing that either of you should be concerned with, at least right now, beyond, I'm sorry that your evening is interrupted, but, he kind of looks around the room, weighing his options. Whether or not he should end the banquet, you kind of get the sense, Wander. But as he's mulling it over in his head, through the double doors walks in a very tall for human man, probably 6'2", bald head. You could tell his nose has been broken several times. His lip has been split open. There's scars running across his cheek and over his eye and across his head. This dude has seen some battles. He is big as far as stature and muscles go. He's wearing very heavy black plate mail armor with it's not a heavy fur cloak, but it is a light fur cloak. Marches in with 4 others that are similar to his fashions, but a little bit less ornate as he is. The music stops. So you see Karn looking around the room with kind of a look of disgust in his face, and he looks over and spots Lord Breen and marches over. Lord Breen immediately stands up, and he kind of doesn't know... Huh?
Like, does it seem like he's standing up as if someone, like, greeting a new person at the table?
Make an insight check.
23.
It's a stand-up to, you get the sense that he is struggling with announcing whether to everybody just to leave the banquet. It's a stand-up as he kind of shifts around his chair to basically offer his chair to Karn.
Whoa.
Although Breen doesn't feel necessarily intimidated by him, there is an uncomfortability that is probably just associated with the situation.
Sure.
So Karn walks up. Breen. Karn. And he holds out his hand to offer a seat, and Karn immediately plops down and just starts digging into the food that Breen was eating. I would have liked some sort of warning, as we are in the middle of a celebration. You're always in the middle of a fucking celebration, Breen. It's every other day you've got these peasants in here scraping off you. Breen kind of rubs his eyes. Well, I take it you're here for a reason. Alright. And he reaches into his side satchel and holds out a letter to Lord Breen, who opens it and scans the note.
Really quickly, sorry to interrupt. Is there, like, would it be, if I move down, like, is there room for me to move down to allow Lord Breen to have a seat?
There's not an extra chair.
Okay. I will stand up and offer Lord Breen my chair.
He grabs the letter and kind of looks at you and then gives you a nod and sits down. And did either of you start taking food?
Yeah, Zeki would have been nibbling on food, like, throughout the time. Just, like, grabbing things and eating them slowly.
Karn eyes Wander's plate, Zeki, and then your plate, and just reaches over and takes a hunk of meat off of your plate. Doesn't even look you in the eye. Yep.
She'll slap his hand away.
Okay.
Excuse you, there are something called table manners.
He, even with your passive everything, and Karn, like, slams his fist on the table, Lord Breen gives you a look. And this is a look of please. Like there is begging in his eyes. Karn eyes you. He looks up towards Breen. Who was this fucking peasant? I apologize, Karn. These are my guests of honor for the night. The one called Zeki has a sharp personality, I guess. He looks back over at you Karn looks back over at you, Zeki, with a glare. And you could kind of see his hand move towards. He has a two-handed sword that he moves his hand towards.
While I would happily be willing to share, a please would have been nice.
Fuck you, please. You should know your place. Not another word out of you, peasant.
By all means, introduce us to our place.
He ignores you and continues eating. And Breen is now both giving you a look like, for the love of fucking God, like, please do
Realizing
not.
the situation now, Zeki will not say anything else for now.
He shifts his attention back to the letter, and there's a change in his face, and Karn says,
That is directly from King Gallum Greydor himself. He's tired of negotiating with you. Mostly just tired of you. Frankly, I'm tired of you. You better get your men together, Breen. King Greydor expects them battle ready should things escalate.
And Breen kind of hesitates. He cannot do this. He has no command over Brandywine or its peoples.
See, that's where he and I are gonna have to disagree with you, Breen. Brandywine was built on the back of the ancestors of the House Greydor, and since you refuse kingship, you have no real power, political or otherwise.
Brandywine was built on the back of mercenaries and free men. He slams his hand on the table again.
With the coin of the House Greydor. And now for some reason I still can't fathom the old soft lords of Greydor opted to have the first king of Brandywine elected to power by the people's vote. It belonged to the Greydor bloodline, always has and still does.
I've discussed the history of Brandywine with King Greydor already. The records show that yes, the lords of Greydor funded as it expanded, but so did many other houses. Brandywine was a culmination of many peoples and many efforts, not one house alone. That is why they chose an election fair and even.
Spare the history lesson, Breen. I don't care. Brandywine doesn't have a crown, and all the other houses of old are gone. The bloodline of Greydor remains, and that's all that matters. You have your orders, and you will follow them under the command of your king.
I will not send my people to a war we did not start. He kind of leans back, swallowing the last of the chunk of meat in his mouth.
You know what I really think, Breen? Is that you and all these peasants of Brandywine are nothing but a group of stinking Vartis.
Breen gets very... There was a saddened look on its face, but it turned to very serious. He reaches into his belt and pulls out a leather glove, and Karn, seeing that, stands up, towering over Breen, and Breen slaps him across the face with the glove. And Karn just smiles.
You see that, people of Brandywine? Your lord has challenged me to a duel to the death. I want to make sure everyone saw it. And I happily accept the challenge.
He spreads his arms, kind of starts strutting around the banquet.
And why wait? Why don't we handle this duel as men right here and right now? No need to pick a time or a place, right? My blade and I are parched.
I would prefer not to spill blood in the dining hall in front of my people.
Very well. In front of the castle then, Breen. I'll give you a moment to pray to your gods for your passage.
And he turns and storms out. And Breen just... I'm sorry.
I would also like to apologize for my actions, as I did not fully comprehend the environment of the room.
You have nothing to apologize for, Breen. You stood up for the honor of your people.
I didn't get a chance to press upon you fully who that man was and his status. I do appreciate what you did, Zeki. It's not that I didn't want it to happen. It's just there's circumstances, you know?
Yeah, no. Bullies like him don't scare me. I just would like to... My apology went for just any tension that I may have caused.
I appreciate that. And at this point, half of the banquet hall has rushed outside following Karn, wanting to see the battle. One of his servants hands his rapier, which looked very similar to his trainer's rapier. Very nice rapier. And they kind of double-check his armor, make sure all the straps are secured, run their eyes over him.
Well,
seems I have a duel.
Breen, I need your honesty right now. Do you have a chance to win this battle?
He kind of smiles. I would give it about 50-50.
There is a thing that I would like to offer, and let me see if I can find it, because I know I've got it.
I appreciate the gesture, but my honor is on the line. Not only my personal honor, but the honor of all of Brandywine. I will enter this battle with nothing but my armor and my sword.
What kind of armor is he in?
Studded leather.
It's a tough call. Studded leather's tough to judge. I believe bark skin would help him.
You can remain here as to not see the bloodshed, but after what the two of you have been through, I'm sure it's just another sight. But I must go. And he turns and starts walking.
Are you sure you don't want just like a little gift that just makes it a little easier to smack things?
I appreciate it, Zeki, but no. This is a battle that the gods will decide.
I match his pace, though, and walk with him.
Yeah, Zeki's also watching. Walking.
Okay. So as you all... Go ahead.
I'm going to attempt cast Enhance ability on him without anyone knowing.
Make a sleight of hand.
I should have cast it on myself first. Holy shit. 18 total.
Okay. A lot of the banquet hall's members are talking to each other in whispers, and there's a tension left, and a lot of them have cleared out, so there's a lot of commotion around you going on. So yeah, what do you enhance?
I give him Bear's Endurance, so he has advantage on Constitution checks, which is whatever. But he will gain 2d6 temporary hit points.
Oh, okay.
Would you like me to roll them, or will you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, he gets 10 hit points.
Hell yeah.
Right.
While Wander was doing that, Zeki's just gonna say, it's like, well, may Tamara watch over you, because she's sure as hell done a lot for us.
Well, Timora, anyone, I'll take. As you are now outside at this point, there's a circle of people, and it started to pull other people. Like, there's just a commotion going on that people are like, what's going on here, for those who don't know. And Karn stands in the middle of this circle.
Wander has hated very few people you have thrown into this campaign, but man, that was fast. 0 to hate.
That was a quick one. Listen, if he cannot follow the basic table manners of that as a child can, then Zeki has no patience for this man.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you hate him, because he's supposed to be hated.
I would think so.
There was no hesitation in the hand slap, by the way. Like, I'm sure that was aware, but like, not a moment.
I think
great.
I had Carmen roll last time, so Logan, roll a d20.
Sorry, 1 second. I walked away. D20. It is a 15.
Okay. I will give you your individual stats. You guys, this is the battle I am terrified.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely terrified over. Okay, you rolled a 15.
Correct.
So,
It's a good thing we got those armors done when we did, just in case. Who knows?
Indeed. Oh, I just now looked at that rapier. That hilt is so cool.
Right. The bard in me
cool.
saw that and just went, please, give me.
all right, so have you received your stats?
Mm-hmm.
All right, roll initiative.
Oh, 1 second, my Discord's being slow. There you are. Oh, jeez.
This song is awesome. Wait, what are we doing?
Rolling initiative.
Oh. Oof. Is it just a straight roll? Don't add anything?
Yep.
18.
13.
All right. So Karn's up first.
So as soon as whatever ceremony is announced, yeah, Karn is more than happy. I'm gonna assume that Karn has wanted for this to happen for a very long time.
Oh yeah.
So he will happily plunge towards with his great sword. The 12 to hit.
Misses.
That was Yep. Okay.
So far, so good.
Is there
All right.
a second attack to this, or just nope?
Nope.
Okay.
I gave him pretty even stats.
Oh, then that and hit points helped.
Oh yeah.
Alrighty. And sort of just doing like, he's got a rapier. I gotta give him the bard flourish. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. And he's skilled. As Karn lunges forward, he easily sidesteps and then lunges with a flourish.
Absolutely. I'm thinking it's like he like does like the sidestep and then does the back around with the backhanded slash. And roll in. 15.
Miss. Well, at least it doesn't damage him.
Yeah, it just bounces off his armor. As Breen was kind of aiming for the neck, he didn't catch quite high enough.
Alright. Fantastic first round. Let's go.
Let's go.
Dude, I'm so fucking
Boring
nervous.
fight
God.
ever. Okay. It'll be a dirty 20 to hit.
That'll hit.
Don't forget to check all your abilities, Carmen.
Oh yeah, no, that's a reaction.
Yeah.
Is it after the damage or before?
You said it was a 20 total, right?
20 total.
So even if I rolled max, he'd still meet the.
Okay, very good.
All right, so might as well save that reaction for now. Not like it's gonna do much, but you know, he might back up.
That will be 9 damage.
All right. God bless those temporary hit points. All right, and coming back around with the slash. Let's go. That is a 20 total.
That will hit.
Cool. D8s, let's go. Ooh, that is 10 damage.
Okay.
All right.
Ouch. Okay. That rapier slashes through him. Come back down. With a 5 to hit. That was a natural 2.
That misses by a long shot.
So, Karn opening up a gash in Breen's chest. He sidesteps and lunges and catches right up in the armpit between the folds of the armor and pierces deep. Karn immediately just roars, takes a step back and does a lazy swing as the pain kind of caught him off guard. It threw off his arm a little bit.
He's thrown off his rhythm.
Yeah.
All right. It's my turn, right?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that hits with a 23.
Yes. Very much so.
All right. Max damage for 12. I love this
God.
D8. I pulled out this D8 for a reason. Come on.
Yep.
All right.
Retaliating with another slash. 30-20.
All right. And I usually like roll like a 19, so I have a chance to use this ability.
For real. Okay. Not as high.
That's good.
8 damage.
8?
Hmm?
All right. Gotta do math here, sorry. Okay. Ow. Coming back with a retaliation for a 24. I love this die so much.
That will hit.
Alright. For 12 points of piercing damage.
And Karn goes down.
It's max, just max and max and max.
I love this D8. This is the D8 I picked out for Lyra ages ago, and I love it.
It appears the goddess Timora herself was indeed with Breen. As Breen lunges forward and strikes, he again aiming between like his armpit and thrusts his sword at an angle to where it's approaching the heart, but he stops, pulls the blade back out, and kicks Karn to the ground as the sky kind of starts to cloud over and a light rain starts to fall. Both men breathing heavily, bloodied. Breen steps over Karn. Crawl back to your king. And tell him that the people of Brandywine are a free people. We will not be forced. We will not be pushed. Tell him that if war is inevitable, then he may march his army through Fort Brandy with no resistance, but we will not march with him. And if I have to don a crown to properly take my stance, then so be it. But only if the people of Brandywine deem that crown lay on my head. Your king's armies might be able to win a war, but they cannot win two. The crowd, there's a moment of hush among them, but as he's speaking these words, there's a bit of a rile, and you can hear someone from the crowd shout, "King Breen!" And he immediately turns and holds up his hands. My people, we have lived good lives since my ancestors set aside their right to the throne. My bloodline has always sided with the common and believed that what makes a kingdom is not a king, but its people. People working together, helping each other, and that we all have the right to live comfortably. The castle has been a shelter to those with none. The treasury has been open to ensure full bellies and good medicine. Most of all, our laws are fair and just, and in the interest of safety and prosperity. We have enjoyed our freedoms. We have enjoyed our lives. If I put a crown on my head, I promise you I will do everything I have always done to maintain this way of life. But let us not be fooled. A terrible storm lurks on our horizon, and just like all storms, they cannot be stopped or controlled. We must be prepared. Prepared to fight for what we have, prepared to defend Brandywine and its freedoms, prepared to protect our families and children so that they may bear children of their own. We must take our stand and hope that the storm passes. But if it does not, to do nothing would mean the destruction of us all. No matter your background, whether you are a farmer or a smith, a shop owner or a landlord, a commander or a king, let us stand together just as we always have and brave these uncertain times. So I say, able-bodied ones who are willing to fight for your neighbors, for your mothers, for your sons and your daughters, sharpen your blades and your axes, reinforce your shields and your spears, and let us show everyone who threatens our way of life that they will be met with solid walls and the courage and bravery of the god of Torm himself in our hearts. What say you? And the crowd erupts, as you can hear now just King Breen being chanted.
I didn't want to interrupt any of that, but this whole time, Wander is watching Karn and his men specifically.
Zeki's doing the same thing.
Karn has since got to his feet, and about midway through his speech, he spits a large goblet of blood on the ground, looks at all of his men, and they start to walk out and break through this forming crowd. Didn't stick around.
Okay.
So once again, Breen raises his hands and calms down the crowd. As always since the revolution, I will let votes decide. Over the coming weeks to months, each dwelling will be visited, each vote taken. Spread my words throughout. Spread everything you have seen and heard tonight throughout. Stress all those important choices and decisions that need to be made. And may the gods watch over us all. And the crowd again erupts as Breen sheathes his sword, turns, and approaches the two of you. I'm sorry, but I have to take my leave. I'm sure you know why.
Be safe. You be safe with the guard you have.
I believe so, yes. I doubt there is an army of Greydor at my gates. If that were the case, I would have been informed. Karn is gonna go crawling back to his king, and I'm sure Greydor will not take kindly to the words I spoke.
Do you have any reason to suspect Karn of attempting anything tonight?
I do not, but if he does, I assure you I have a safe place. I have many guards, and I will redouble the guard throughout my palace. In other words, Zeki and Wander, I appreciate you coming, and I'm sorry the events turned out this way, but I don't want you to worry yourselves over me. Please, I know you didn't get a chance to eat all of your food. Take the offer of Lord Thuldar. Go to the Vine,
Indeed.
Get some good food, have some good drink. This is still your night, and I want you to celebrate it.
Not lose any... Go ahead.
It is reassuring to hear that you are going to be in fact safe tonight. And we will, don't worry. But if you need us, you know where we're at.
Do not worry about the effect this has had on our evening, I assure you.
We've had worse.
And I did not know what to expect from you, Lord Breen. I assure you, the way you handled yourself in front of that man, it is more than anything our conversation could have told me about you. You handled yourself well.
Very well thought, and I'm glad you're all right.
Well,
Though you might need some bandages.
As you say that, the two high elves that are in the robes begin to approach him. The female in particular, she is doing some waves of her hand, and Lord Breen holds out his hand. Don't let the wounds be. And she kind of frowns. My lord? Just let the wounds be. I must excuse myself.
Rest.
I will. It was nice to meet you two, despite our
And
circumstance. I hope that we can get together again soon.
All in all, tonight was very fun. So again, we do appreciate what you've done here for us tonight.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. Well, have a good
Reach
night.
out to us if there's something else we can do in the future.
Oh, trust me, you two are on the top of my list. And he kind of stops as he starts walking away and turns back. Actually, I might have a job for the two of you.
Oh?
If I am to take the crown, I am also going to need the sword of the kings. There is a underbelly of Brandywine that hasn't been gone to in many thousands of years. There lay catacombs of where the ancient kings sleep. There was a period of the history of Brandywine where there was an underbelly civilization that started to form, and they started doing very strange and dark magics under there that has not fully dispersed from the most recent records, so the catacombs were sealed. But if the two of you could go and retrieve that sword for me, I will pay you a king's reward. We can go over the details of that another time. There's much other preparation I need to do now, but...
You know where we'll be staying. Reach out to us as soon as you're ready for us to endeavor on this.
Very good.
Though if it's going to be a bit longer than that, then, do you have ways of contacting us through magical means?
He gestures to the male high elf. We have ways.
Sweet. Perfect. Alrighty.
All right. Good night.
Good night. Sweet dreams.
I don't know if I'll be getting any sleep.
Well, If sleep does take you, may your dreams be sweet.
Thank you. All right, and the crowd does linger. I got mush mouth tonight. As the crowd, they haven't dispersed. They're talking to one another. There's still some shouts every now and then of King Breen. But yeah, most of the attention is focused on the two of you now.
Ooh.
As Lord Breen, he was the last. You two were the last he talked to before he took his leave. So
yeah, no, that makes sense. It's like when you're in high school and you just like talk with with like the one friend you've got that's like technically popular, and then when they leave, everyone's just looking at you, and you're just like, ugh.
Okay, I have to adjust some things, pull up some new notes now. So whatever you guys wish to do at this point.
Well, Wander, was there anything else you wanted to do, or should we just head up the hotel
I
or the inn?
believe. Well, we need to go find a good friend whose name was totally always planned out to be Gilbert. And
right, we do need our things.
Yeah, get our stuff back.
That's true. We should probably do that first.
Yes.
I'm so used to just always having it on me. I forget when I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Where did my fucking notes go? There's one. Okay, one down, one to go. There we go. There's the other one. Okay. All right, so you go back, and you find Gilbert. He was standing at the doorway watching the events, but he never approached. But as you two approach, he gives you a nod. I believe that the night is over, if I'm not mistaken.
It does seem that way, yeah.
All right.
Roughly what time of night is it? If this all started at sunset.
It's about 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Oh. Come now, Gilbert. Surely the night's young.
Well, for me it definitely is, but I have many responsibilities.
Indeed. If you had the night off, a city such as Brandywine, where would you go?
He kind of thinks for a moment. I don't think I've ever been asked that question. Have
you ever gone anywhere?
I've been around Brandywine, sure. I think I would go to the festive ward and just yeah, I think I would go have some raw Brandywine, for lack of a better term, in a pub.
Have you ever had raw Brandywine?
I've had it in the past, yes. Didn't get too much of it, but it is delicious.
Very well. Enjoy your evening.
You as well. I'll be right back with your belongings.
Thank you very much.
It's like he had already done that.
He shortly comes back, arms just full, handing
like when you tell the movie theater ticket ripper to enjoy their movie also.
Right, yep.
Wander just has ADHD, it's okay.
Or when you tell them, oh god, what did you tell the one guy? Jordan, you mixed up like... Oh
my god.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Oh, I gotta hear this. What happened?
He mixed up two sentences, I'm great and have a good day.
Mm-hmm.
And it came out, I'm gay.
I'm gay? Question mark?
Oh my god. That is why I don't like to go out in public for that.
That is why I do.
My god.
We love the accidental coming out.
And the thing is like, I don't know how to recover, so it was just like, I'm gay, and I walked away. Fuck!
I'm new in town.
Oh my god.
I'm gay.
It's like,
I'm new in town.
I could never go back to that theater ever again.
He just walked right in the movie theater, straight to the fire exit, and left.
God, dude.
Oh, you made that person's day, though.
Like, that guy just told me he's gay. Oh, God.
I thought gay guys were better at flirting than that.
With the ones I've met, you'd be surprised.
Weird. What would you two like to do now?
Well, I know that I'm down to just head to the inn and eat food and call it a night and see the looks on their faces when we hand over the coin. But if there's something else you want to do tonight...
Oh, I do believe we do have that coin.
We do have the coin.
And I did tell our good friend Eldar we would enjoy the festivities of On the Vine again. So let's do that in style this time.
Yes, let's.
All right.
Alrighty.
So you make your way over to On the Vine, crossing that crossing that threshold as the temperature changes, the ambience changes.
Is it the same woman from last night?
Are you going to the main
Yes.
inn again, or are you going to the dining area?
Main inn first.
Main entrance first. It is not the same.
Oh.
This time it is a wood elf, actually, a female wood elf, which is a little strange for this. You mostly see the high elves being humans and servants, but a wood elf got thrown in. But either way, the servants that are flanking the doors open it up as you approach. And again, stepping is the On the Vine uniform, wood elf female, very short, the same stylized, tight braided hair that goes down the back of her head as most of the other women servants have. And she looks at you and smiles, and Wander, there's much less judgment immediately. But you do still catch glances from other servants and just the people in the room that are of judgment. Welcome to On the Vine. How may I help you?
Hi there. Zeki just pulls out the coin and slides it over. We'd like a room for the night, please.
Yes, we are guests of Eldar. He's invited us to stay here this evening.
Her eyes go very wide at the coin, and she takes it and holds it up, almost inspecting to see if it's counterfeit.
Zeki just has a very warm smile on her face.
And a couple of the other servants catch this transaction, and they all get this look of like, okay, holy shit, these two people are important. Well, yes, so not only does this permit you to a free room, but you can eat in the dining hall and drink for half price.
That would be lovely.
All right. So here at On the Vine, we like to, especially for very important guests such as yourselves, we like to tailor your experience to best fit your needs. We want you to be very comfortable. So, first things first, what kind of server would you like to have, as far as a more to the point or laid back server?
Laid back.
Laid back.
Laid back would be good.
Yes.
Very well, it shall be done. And where...
You have a server that gets in trouble a lot.
No, we run a pretty tight ship around here.
Okay.
But there are servers that have a hidden personality that they do not reveal until they are with people such as yourselves who prefer it. My next question would be, where would you like to eat? And by that I mean, what atmosphere? Anything you want, whether it be a forest, a ice snowscape, a volcano, a whatever you need.
If it's okay, Zeki,
Are you thinking forest?
would love to see the home I've left behind.
Oh?
I am so down for that.
Do you have a particular forest in mind?
Lost Wood.
Ah, an enchanting place, yes. I believe that can be arranged. So, a laid-back server with the atmosphere of the Lost Woods. Alright. It will take just a couple minutes to set that up. You can wait here, have a seat if you would like, and I will be right back.
Thank you very kindly.
You're welcome. She disappears for several minutes.
Zeki will just like take a seat on like whatever seating area they've got.
Really fancy seats here. Okay.
Yeah.
A couple minutes goes by and she comes back. Okay, everything is prepared. Please follow. She takes you through a series of, well, not a series, but doors off to the left side of the room that goes down a hallway and then enters into the banquet area. It's a very calm atmosphere, very low lighting, different diners, mostly, again, of high elves eating. She takes you past all that into just an archway, basically, that leads into a cylindrical room that has thick black curtains, evenly spaced throughout, and she walks over to the curtain and draws it back and gestures for you to enter.
After you.
Oh, yeah, sorry, I follow.
As you step through, you are immediately transported into Wander. It's the Lost Woods. Even the smells and the sounds of the forest at night. There's even a little bit of light fog in the air, not necessarily around your centralized dining table, but there, as you're looking around, there seems to be no end. There's no stop to the trees or anything. You're in the middle of the Lost Woods. In the middle is a table that has a center wooden post that's carved, and then just what appears to be a thick slab of tree that's just placed, polished, and some nice chairs, cushion chairs that seem to be carved in the shape of leaves. Your waiter will be with you shortly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
A few moments pass by, and it's a weird thing to see. As you're sitting in the middle of the Lost Woods, there's just this hand that comes out of nowhere and pushes aside, opening up into the circular room that you came from, and steps in, and the quote-unquote curtain closes and the illusion is complete again. In steps a young man, a young human male, black short hair, their traditional server get-up. He walks over, he's got a big smile, and... Well, I am very relieved that somebody finally decided to have a waiter that doesn't have a stick up their ass.
No doubt it's one from these very woods.
Say that again?
No doubt it's one from these very woods.
Yeah, large, like thick stick. It feels nice. Thank you for choosing me and giving me a moment to relax.
Oh yeah, of course.
All right. He walks over, and out of the ground sprouts like a mini stool that he sits down on. Okay, well, eat and drink, yeah? Or just drink, or dessert. I'm sorry, I got so sidetracked with, like, not being so sophisticated, I forgot to introduce myself. I am Killmop. Obviously being your server. Killmop, yes.
It is a pleasure to meet you. My name's Zeki.
Zeki?
I met a gentleman earlier today named Hammer, who was a smith. Is your name same reason?
Because I kill mops? No,
Assassin janitors, you never know when you're gonna meet them.
There are people that take their names with their professions. I have no idea why my parents decided to name me Kill Mop, but It's funny because my mom's name is Diana and my father's name is George. So it's like, I guess they tried to do something exotic. I don't know, but Kilmop? Who knows?
Maybe it's pronounced Kilm-op.
Could be. They probably like heard the name Kilm-op and were like, oh, Kilmop, let's go with that. Either way, you can call me Kel.
I'm that Kel.
Yeah, two of you as well. You're an interesting pair. It's not often a Furbolg and a Tiefling stops by on the same night.
Indeed, we've been invited here. Well, I was more trying to impress the lady at the front. We were actually invited here by Tholdar. We met him this evening.
Oh.
Interesting guy.
I think he invited us here more to impress Lord Breen than anything else.
Ah.
Oh, that's a shame.
You got your hand on one of the coins, then.
Absolutely.
Indeed.
Yeah, he doesn't give those out very often.
Well, nice gesture nonetheless. Whatever the reason for it was.
Hey, even if he was just trying to impress Breen, a win for you, right?
Indeed.
Absolutely.
And I can guarantee whoever saw that coin, and no doubt your hostess, definitely was impressed.
Wonderful. Tell you
right.
what, Kel.
Yes.
Kel,
Lay it on me.
I would care for whatever you think is the best thing here.
Oh. Are you a meat man or a more vegetable man? I can get you a mixture of both, but...
Adventurous.
Venturous. Alright. I think I have something in mind. And...
Yeah, just surprise me.
Hey, you two are easy, alright. Now, as far as wine. You cannot leave this place without drinking the wine. We have wines that calm you down, make you forget your troubles. We have wines to help you sleep. We have wines to... He leans in. Get you randy. We have wines to make you angry. We have any emotional spectrum you could imagine. We can give it.
Wine that makes you angry.
Yeah, sometimes when people are, like, down and depressed, they like... It's almost like a drink of encouragement to them.
Huh.
It makes them more intimidating, you could say.
Interesting.
There are wines that make you more comfortable around people. I mean, whatever you need.
I would like to try your angry wine.
The angry wine? Okay. Don't get that one too often, but I like it. And you?
Now, this is probably going to sound simple considering the wide arrays, but I've only had Brandywine once, so if I could get a glass of that, that'd be fantastic. Because that was some good shit right there.
Just the plain vanilla Brandywine.
Yeah.
Alright. So we do have two versions of that. It's the more raw unprocessed, which I will have to cap you. There is a limit on that. Or the more refined, which you can drink till you are happy.
Let's try the raw one. I'll probably only do one glass, but...
Care for a glass of that as well.
Alright. One raw, two raw.
Haven't tried it yet.
An angry. And I will place your orders and be back in a jiff.
Fantastic. The moment he leaves the room, I just turn to Wander's like, I really like him.
He's my favorite server we've had so far. Room caught me off guard. I was not expecting it to be this real.
I've only passed by the Last Woods. How... Is this pretty accurate?
I have not been home in over 2 decades.
Oh. That's longer than I thought it was. I guess I never really actually asked. My bad.
It's okay. It's no reason for it to have come up yet. After 2 decades, I have not forgotten a detail of my home. and somehow they didn't miss a single one. I almost wonder if we are seeing the same thing. Guess we'd have to wait for the DM to...
Seeing the same thing.
I would think so.
Yes, if I point out details in the room, does she see the same thing I do?
Yeah.
Is that how this is? Okay.
Yeah.
I just wasn't sure if this was like an enchantment of our mind or the actual space around us.
Yeah, just the space.
Okay.
Well, it does look lovely.
It is beautiful.
All right, so your server comes back, first with your drinks, places a rosé-colored wine in front of you, Wander. You can guess that's the angry wine, and then 2 glasses of a very, very deep purple, almost black wine. All right, so I have placed the same order for both of you.
Ooh.
There is a particular cow, I guess you could say, for lack of a better term. These cows live better lives than most of us. They are treated as lord cows. They're very specifically bred. They're fed certain food. They are touched with magic, you could say. The meat that these cows produce, you will not find a better cut of meat. So,
Oh, I am very excited for this.
that's my personal favorite, and a lot of people order that, so I figured start with that. It will just be another few minutes, and I will get that to you.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
He gives you a wink.
And Zeki will sip on the raw wine.
There's no bitterness from the other processed wine from before. So yeah, it
Oh yeah, this is even more dangerous.
is very dangerous.
Ah, my type of alcohol right there.
Just far, far too easy to drink.
The alcohol that doesn't taste like alcohol.
Mm,
Perfect.
delicious. This is quite marvelous. To be honest, I'm a little skeptical of their angry wine. So, forgive me if I'm wrong, but it's not an emotion I feel very often, so I'd be surprised. I don't know.
Oh yeah, no, this is gonna be interesting.
As you begin to...
Start drinking my angry
Yeah.
wine.
So it almost has an apple cinnamon twist
Ooh.
to it. But again, it's not biting or overpowering by any means. The taste is mild. But yeah, delicious. And after you finish that glass, you have advantage on intimidation checks for the next hour.
Okay.
And yeah, as you drink, it's not like a boiling, bubbling anger, just hatred. But it's like you kind of maybe bounce your leg a little bit, and yeah, you feel like you kind of want to be
You don't want to
quote-unquote
punch something,
mad
maybe.
at something, yeah. It's not enough to act, but it's like you could go right now. Like you're ready.
Ready for a fight to break out.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. So, yeah, you see Wander get, I guess, the close to impatient you have ever seen. Kind of looking over his shoulder. Yeah, the restless leg bouncing. I don't know. Really nothing to this wine. I'm not really even feeling angry. Angry wine.
Angry. So, about 10
Right.
minutes goes by. The waiter comes back in, placing 2 plates of wood, polished wood in front of you. And the meat isn't big. It's about the size of a filet mignon size, just a little circular slab of meat. It's thick. You can tell that it's marbled with fat. Just the juices and it's almost wanting to fall apart on the plate. Seasoned, and that's all there is just the meat. He looks at the both of you. I know it seems like a small amount, but I assure you that we'll fill you. Just eat slow and enjoy it. You have all the time you need. If you need any more wine, all you have to simply do is call my name, and I'll be here.
Sounds perfect. Thank you so much.
Of course. And enjoy.
Thank you. Wander just starts eating, not very slowly.
So yeah, it's a melted. You can cut it with a fork.
Ooh.
Just melt in your mouth.
Low-key hoping that the 50% off is going to be worth it, because I don't know how much money this is going to cost.
Oh, it's a good thing I sold that.
Yeah, it's a good thing that we've got money, but like also.
Yeah, it could suck.
Hopefully I don't surprise you too much, but yeah.
I don't know. Zeki kind of got caught up in the moment and she forgot to ask price.
Yeah, it's one of those things in that restaurant where price, like, they didn't really give you a menu.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, they gave you a wine menu, but it didn't list any prices. It's like price is just not something that these people think about, so.
Yeah. So I was like, that's just going on in the back of Zeki's mind as she is enjoying the steak.
Okay, so you both get, let me see what I had down here. 2d6 temporary hit points.
Ooh.
Oh! Roll that, or do we each roll it individually?
Just roll it individually.
6!
I also got 6.
I'll take it.
And that'll last until a long rest, basically, so it'll stick with you for a good time. We'll give you 24 hours. Why not? You guys are about to maybe go to bed, so.
Yeah. I appreciate it.
Okay. So as you sit and enjoy the amazing atmosphere, the delicious food and wine, by the time your wine glasses are empty, there is a calm in your muscles. You're able to relax a bit and sink down, minus the bit of what Wander drank is kind of keeping him on that edge, that balance there. But yeah, you feel nice. It's a good meal and good drinks.
Hell yeah.
If there is nothing more you would like to discuss.
We're good. This eve.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Your server returns. All right. Well, are we having dessert?
I'm good for the night, but I do appreciate it.
Right
I
on.
am quite satiated, and I believe I am ready for bed.
Very good. Okay. I will run and grab your total then. Be right back.
Thank you.
He
The moment of truth.
Yeah. He comes back, places a bill with discounts. 26 gold and 8 silver.
Cool.
Totally. Less than I
26.
expected.
8. Hand that over.
Okay.
And I will also hand him an extra 5 gold. And that is for you because you are awesome tonight.
That is very generous of you. Thank you. That is awesome. I've been very happy to serve the both of you. Please come back. Pay me a visit. Brighten my day. Relieve my stick, if you will.
Oh, I sure do hope we get the opportunity soon.
Very good. Well, you're free to stay as long as you'd like. You can take your leave whenever you want. The room is yours.
Thank you again.
He gives you a deep bow and exits.
Wander will
Alright.
take one more look around. I believe I'm ready to go to bed.
Yeah, let's go find our room. or find out what our room is.
Oh, I forgot to mention she did give you a room key.
All right, cool. Let's go. Let's go to our room.
Go to bed.
All right.
Wander out of just like whatever. He's actually gonna try to sleep on the bed and see what it's like.
Okay.
Might as well. It's there.
Carmen, join me in the DM room.
Ooh.
Only moments after laying down, you feel your body melt into its resting place. It feels almost like the early signs of sickness, which kind of alarms you. An almost fevered delirium takes you rather quickly. There is a tingling at your fingertips, then your hands, then your feet, slowly spreading as the temperature rises in your core, and a heavy dizziness takes your brain. It reminds you of being back on the stormy seas, trying to rest as the heavy waves rock and jar the ship. You feel like you need to remove your covers or perhaps open a window, but the slightest movement seemed taxing, your body quickly being sapped of what little control it seems to have left, almost as if you're trying to move through rapidly hardening molasses. You try to move your arm and attempt to uncover, and in your mind you do so. Your brain reacts. You feel it, pushing and pushing, and you can feel your hand move underneath the covers and towards the edge, only to realize a few moments later that you haven't moved at all. Quickly finding yourself between what feels like being awake, yet standing on the edge of a cliff of dreams. You're not sure what to think anymore. You start to feel helpless, stuck, a prisoner of your resting place, and for a brief moment you wonder to yourself if you'll ever be free from this rapidly increasing state of surrealism. In moments, you forget who you are. You forget you even laid down at all. Disconnected from place and time, you only hear yourself breathing. Breathing. Breathing in an empty void between worlds. You hear the echoing of footsteps, an echo that seems to last forever. But where's the source? You realize it's your own footsteps, walking towards a heavy wooden door framed by nothing. Thick mist surrounding you at all sides. You step forward, clutching the cold, rusted metal handle, and step through. You find yourself in a rough stone room, occupied by only 2 chairs, a table, and thousands of candles covering the floor, the walls, and hanging from the ceiling, all dripping heavily with wax. It's almost as if the room is melting, a reflection of your melting mind. The table sits center room, a chair on each side. A figure sits on one of the chairs in heavy black robes with the hood up, the shadow of it covering any signs of its face. It extends a reddish-black, wrinkled hand outward, offering you a seat. You comply, the change of angle only allowing you to catch a glimpse of a pointed, wrinkled chin of the one that sits across from you, black spittle dripping off of it.
It seems you have a problem. It seems you're coming undone.
The figure gestures, pointing to its leathery-like wrist. You instinctively look down towards your own wrist, and you notice a small, fleshy-looking thread jutting out of your skin. You pinch the thread and give it a slight tug, and with a gasp, your skin splits a bit around the area and starts to peel back. Something overcomes you at that moment. As you pull harder, an overwhelming feeling that whatever this is needs to come out. You continue to pull on the thread and on your skin. You start screaming in your own mind to stop, but you can't. As you pull horrified, the threads start coming from deeper in your flesh and running up the length of your arm. You begin to desperately pull and tug and scratch at the thread as you begin to scream out loud, ripping away at your own flesh with each passing moment, revealing muscle and tendon and bone. You beg yourself to stop as your stomach twists and chills of dread shoot down your spine, but the obsession to pull only redoubles. The figure across from you begins to laugh, a slow laugh at first, but escalates into a cackle, a chilling sound that mixes with your own screams. Your head swings back in its direction as it removes its hood, revealing a black void that begins to consume and spread, covering all things. Out of the center point comes dozens of slimy, black, writhing tentacles, which shoot towards you, wrapping around your arms, then your legs, then your chest, as you feel yourself being lifted up. You take a breath to scream again, but it's cut short as you feel the cold, wet embrace of a tentacle wrap around your neck and begin to squeeze.
I have you now.
Wander. As you lay down, you feel your body beginning to melt into its resting place. You feel very suddenly relaxed as you draw a deep breath and let it out. But the feeling doesn't last long as you lay. You begin to feel almost as if you're floating in thick syrup, followed by a tingle that starts in your hands and feet and slowly spreads throughout your body. You feel your body temperature rise. Your heart begins to miss beats, sending pain through your chest. You almost enter into what feels like a fevered state that was countered with too many drugs. It's alarming how quickly this feeling hits you. Whatever thoughts you had about perhaps getting back up or casting a spell to help, or try and shake the feeling with a moment of meditation, the thoughts collide and slip around in your mind, and ending up a muddy mess that makes you feel paralyzed. You try to put yourself into action, but the more you struggle, the more you feel yourself sinking deep as the syrup begins to harden, encasing your body in a pressure that makes it hard to breathe. That's all you can focus on now. Breathing. As your mind and your body swims, seeming to almost separate into layers like seaweed moving to and fro in the currents of a waning and waxing wave. So too, your body feels separated from its soul, moving with an unknown current. Soon you forget the events of the night. You forget ever laying down in bed at all. All there is a strange place outside of time and space between worlds that only leads to blackness. You lay there, unknowing of your place, unknowing of the passage of time. Somewhere in the dark veil, a figure slowly appears in front of you. And unlike your vivid dreams you've had in the past, somewhere where you were in control of your actions, some you at least felt as though you were in control, or that there was a point or purpose to it. This one feels wrong, like a copy of a copy of a copy of a dream, dulled down and disturbing. You can feel the unease. As the figure appears, so too does your surroundings. A dark, lifeless, foggy, bleak forest, where the trees have been long dead, petrified, their strange branches frozen in place, reaching towards your direction, almost as if they are begging for help. The very earth at your feet is nothing more than salted ash and death. Morrow in her humanoid form stands before you, only one side of her face showing as she stands sideways. It's a lie. I've been trying to tell you it's a lie, but I don't know how to talk to you. As she turns her head your direction, you see the other side of her face, and a chill runs down your spine as you see rotten flesh with plump maggots wriggling their way through the decaying side of her skull. She turns towards you and takes a few steps, jarring loose the maggots that seem to be multiplying and are now spilling out of her face. She opens her mouth to speak again, but a foreign voice meets your ears. There will only be death. Her body convulses, and out of her mouth spews a thick black tar aimed directly at your body. You can feel it spreading all over yourself, almost alive and wriggling on the surface of your body. And although you feel no pain, you can feel your skin being pierced as thousands of aliens forms burrow their way in and start to consume you from the inside out. The two of you eventually wake. Your minds are muddy. You have a pounding headache. It takes you a second to comprehend where you are, what's going on around you, as your vision is still blurry and your eyes are rolling around in your head. You both feel in pain, uncomfortable, muscles incredibly sore. There's a pain at your wrists and at your ankles, and you're on a hard, cold, wet ground.
Oh.
You hear a voice as your vision begins to circle and then eventually focus. A figure standing behind bars, a female drow. So, you are the two who killed the spider. And that is where we will end tonight.
Oh, fudge.
Thank you for listening. Don't forget to check back next week to find out what situation Zeki and Wander have gotten themselves into. Remember, we love you, and we hope to see you again soon as we continue the story of A Growing Darkness.